we have to
Beer.
is
Beer.
itself.
Beer. So many choices.
Only no function beer well without.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Beer Busters. We're going to bring you the news and reviews of your favorite brews. I am Dan Baker, and I am joined by my co-host and brewerologist,
Steph Hefner.
and of course the demented and fermented
Wayne Baker.
We have returned almost a year to the date, mind
Really?
you. Yes.
Oh, wow.
Because it was right before I started my new job, and I just hit my year there.
Oh, congratulations.
We have returned to one of my favorite places because it combines two of my favorite beverages and favorite things in life. We have coffee and we have beer, and of course we are at Stolen Sun, and I'm so damn happy to be here. We have joining us, returning to the show,
Jonathan.
and newcomer,
Chris.
Jonathan, thank you so much for having us out here, guys. I'm pumped. As soon as Steph told us that we were coming back here, I was thrilled because I learned so much about coffee last time, and I've just been like salivating over everything that we're going to drink tonight, and I can't wait.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun the first time I was here. It was really cool seeing you at Brewery as
Yes.
well.
Yeah.
Especially
fun.
with your connection and the history there at Canal
Yes.
Street. That was a fun time. Steph wasn't there, unfortunately,
Yeah.
but we had a good time.
Well, remember, you listening to this right now, we're in your ears. You know where else you can find us? Online.
On the internet.
Other places on the
Yeah.
internet. Twitter and Instagram, we're at Beer Busters. Facebook, there's Beer Busters Podcast. There's also beerbusterspodcast.com. And don't forget patreon.com/beerbusters, where you have access to behind-the-scenes cool shenanigans, invites to special recordings that we may do in the basement, all for as little as $1 a month.
Yes, please check out Patreon. There is a huge back catalog of cool bonus content. By the time you're listening to this, you might be back to work, but you may also have some time on your hands. So, why not go back and listen to some old Beer Busters?
Well, and I was going to promote some events, but
Yeah, there may be events. There may not be events.
check our Facebook
know.
page.
Yeah, just follow along. We also have Snapchat. It's on Wayne's phone.
Yeah, we don't. Yeah.
Wayne doesn't.
Oh, we're going to use it tonight.
Oh, are we?
Yes.
Nobody is allowed to touch my phone.
God damn it, Wayne. Then you have to snap.
I'll think about it.
Those are the conditions. And whatever platform you are choosing to listen to us on, if you would be so kind, give us a rating and a review. The better is obviously the better. But, be honest. And do that for every podcast that you listen to, because that's how we grow our audiences. And that's we need validation. Let's be totally honest.
Dan, I'm going to interrupt you for a moment because I
Please
think
do.
there's coffee over there.
Oh, my God.
And I could really use some coffee right
That
about
was
now.
Perfect timing. Perfect timing. Oh, thank God. Look at those. Those are fancy. Is that technically a carafe? Is that what that is?
That would be a carafe. I'd call that a carafe.
Well, I don't know if it had like a fancier coffee term. I probably should have waited to ask until he was back at the table with his headphones
So
on.
he could hear you.
Yeah.
That whole thing is not for you.
Oh, really? It's not? Oh, I will totally drink the whole thing.
I know you will.
Be careful where you're pouring.
Thank you.
Man, thank you very much.
So as we mentioned, Stolen Sun is, of course, the place for great beer and great coffee. And we're starting with coffee to kick ourselves off. So why don't you tell us a little bit about what we're drinking?
So this is a naturally processed coffee from Yirgacheffe in Ethiopia. So the really cool thing about natural coffees, especially when they're roasted light to medium light, is especially the Ethiopian coffees, they get a very fruity, blueberry, citrusy note to it. So natural coffees, they take the cherries, put them on the earth. The cherries start to degrade to where the seed can come out. And it's that delicious fermentation in the air, the natural fermentation, that puts the flavor back into the coffee bean. And then we roast it a little bit lighter to keep the fruit flavors forward. But this is a part of our Unicorn Tier series. And super fruity. It's a little bit warm now, but as it kind of warms down a little bit, you're going to the coffee will open up a lot. And you'll get notes of almost, remember Jiffy blueberry muffins?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Almost like a fake blueberry. Well, you can smell it's a little bit bready on the nose and a little bit, blue fruit.
Can I ask a question about brewing coffee?
Sure.
Because I've recently come across this. I bought some, novelty coffee, let's call it, at the grocery store recently.
It's not good.
It's not good. It's not good. It's bourbon flavored, and then there's a maple bacon one. They're not good. But on
Why would you do that?
He's going to make you leave, Dan. I can see it.
I
in his
know.
eyes.
Terrible.
He's gonna be like, get the fuck out
I know,
of here
I
with
know,
that
I know.
shit.
Because I like bourbon and I like maple bacon and I like coffee. But when I was reading the suggested measurements for the perfect cup on the bag, I'm supposed to use 2 rounded scoops for 6 ounces of coffee. And it got me thinking, is there an
Seems to be a
appropriate
lot.
measurement? That's what I thought. But when I tried to use a little bit less, I got like no flavor out of it whatsoever. It was very thin, very... It was
Well,
worse
also,
than it already was.
Those coffees, and I've made them and drank them, unfortunately, because it was 5 o'clock in the morning and I needed coffee, and that's what Dan had on the counter.
Do you know what people have to do at Origin to get coffee over to here?
Yeah, I know, and this is what we do to
And
it.
this is what we
I
do.
know,
Yeah.
I know. I actually thought they were like Christmas gifts. I didn't think Dan actually bought them. I thought they were just like novelty gifts that somebody was like, "Oh, Dan likes bacon and coffee. Oh, he'll like this." But they have anyway. My original point was they have like little crystals in them that I guess is the flavoring. Because I imagine when you buy like that cheap flavored coffee, I mean, I imagine it's like
Maybe they were flavor crystals.
that's what I'm saying. Flavor crystals packed with flavor of some sort. But that might be why the measurements seemed like kind of high, because it's actually not all coffee grounds in
Yeah.
there. There's like other crap mixed in to get that weird taste
Yeah.
that they call maple bacon, but
they
tastes
call-
more like
Yeah.
like industrial chemicals.
So is there an appropriate measurement when you're going to brew, especially out of like a drip coffee maker? Is there, or
Yes.
does it depend on the roast?
8 grams per cup.
8 grams per cup. Okay.
So I have to get a scale.
You should.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now is that? I guess I was going to say, is it 8 grams pre or post drying? But it doesn't matter.
It
It's like a
doesn't
ton of
matter.
feather and a ton of
That's
brick.
right.
Yeah,
It's the same thing.
Yeah.
Please
But no,
forgive me.
generally like 8 grams. And the reason why, like scoops, like the beans are different sizes, so you may get
Right.
different amounts of weight depending on. I think we may have talked about that last
We did,
time.
we
Yeah, I
did.
think
'Cause
so.
we talked about, because a lot of people think that a darker roast has less caffeine because the roast
Yes.
somehow takes caffeine
Yeah.
out of it. That's not true. It's just because
So you really want to weigh it, and that's what
Yeah.
we do here. It's 8 grams per cup, plus or minus. We have refractometers here that we could actually dial in the amount that we grind.
Right.
So
Refractometers.
it measures coffee solids,
Yeah.
instead of beer solids.
right.
That's cool. I love the science behind it. It's so great. It shows that there's a lot of care that goes into it, and you definitely get it when you drink the coffee.
And I mean, ton of sweetness. I mean, you get a really nice mouthfeel on this
Yep.
coffee. It's not a thin coffee.
No, it's bold, flavorful,
Yep.
perfect. It's
and
it's great.
it's super light. You
Yeah.
know, at the end of the day, it's a relatively light coffee, but the flavors are amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, very tea-like and definitely fruity, citrus notes. It's an amazing coffee.
Yeah, I am so glad we started with this. Thank you.
Me too, because
Yeah.
I am tired.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. This
It's been a long week.
this week felt like a month.
And so I just got back from Guatemala. I was in Guatemala last week, and
Oh, nice.
a couple weeks before that, I was in Colombia. So this is the harvest season, and this is the time where we go to figure out what coffees we want to buy. So it's pretty amazing.
That's awesome.
That's
Yeah.
really cool.
Is that similar to when brewers go to a hop harvest? Is it the similar kind of thing?
I mean, I think it would be similar, but I've never been to a hop harvest.
I think it's the only like comparable thing you could really
Right.
say.
I think that we, as smaller roasters, we have more. I guess we're better able to get to like farms than necessarily like. I don't know if we'd ever get invited to go to a hop farm.
Yeah,
at
no,
our
I think
farm.
we're too small for that.
Maybe a local one.
I'm gonna need a.
You go down to
150
Deer Creek for their hop harvest. They have hops there, close and local and small.
Do they?
Yeah.
Oh.
They've been growing hops there for what? When was the last
When
time we
we
recorded
were
on the
there,
farm? That was the first year they had them.
When we did that video there, they were just setting up
Mm-hmm.
like their first year, and it was more like, we're just gonna grow them.
It's been at
like
least
the first year,
four-
kind of.
four
But yeah,
or
it's been at
5
least 4 or
years.
5 years since then. So yeah.
I mean, you might not get invited out to
Yeah,
Do they
Washington and
we're not getting
Oregon
invited
or out to
Yeah.
to
We
Germany.
don't really get invited a lot of places. Number one. So.
You just have to demand it
Yeah.
Do they have people with machine guns out there when you go?
to guard
To get the
hops.
hops?
Yeah.
No.
See, that's where it may be different, just a
That's
little bit.
a little different aesthetic there.
Well, we have a lot in front of us, and I do want to get into a little bit of news. So here we are. We're not going to bore you with the list of things that are canceled because of you-know-what. But sorry if you had tickets to CBC and everything else. But there is a little bit of good news for friends of the show, and this was one of the only things I could find news-related that
wasn't sad.
That wasn't sad and about things getting canceled and closures and whatnot. Our friends at St. Boniface are expanding. After 9 years in the business, St. Boniface Craft Brewing Company is opening a second location. Tide House, it's going to be called, and will set a new standard in hospitality as related to the limited brewery license concept. The restaurant will not only bring locally produced beer back to Rudy's Hall at 2731 East Main Street, but it will also seek to add a high-quality wine and spirits program based on the ability to sell PA wines and spirits. Tide House, taking its name from the British system of brewery-owned pubs, is one aspect of what St. Boniface will bring to Rudy's Hall. The basement space, which has its own entrance from Main Street, will be dubbed the Narthex and will feature small bites along with drinks that will make it a perfect stop before or after dinner. Additionally, the second floor will be utilized as an event space in the coming months. Dane Shirey, one of the owners of St. Boniface, is,
Shout
quote,
out to Dane.
excited to be a part of the vibrant and growing Lidditz community. Tide House will be unique from our current location in Ephrata.
Tits?
There it is.
There,
Sorry, I was delayed.
You were waiting for
Oh, actually, I was waiting to do this.
Filled with yummy goodness.
Oh, yeah. Tide House will be a
You
unique.
threw him off.
I
You
know,
really
right?
threw him off.
Tide House will be unique from our current location in Ephrata, says owner Michael Price at St. Boniface. As St. Boniface will continue to brew and operate their tap room in Ephrata. We've had so much support from our surrounding communities since we opened, including residents from.
Les tits?
It only made sense to stay local and do something a little different, explains owner Jonathan Northup. So, hey, congrats to them. That's great.
That's really cool. I'm actually surprised that it took this long for them to open a second location.
Yeah.
That's been like the trend for a couple of years now.
But they're smart business owners.
They are. And that's, I mean, well, I was going to say that's why they've been around so long, but they also make really fucking good beer. So that's really the key there. But yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't have thought of it until it actually happened. Like, oh, yeah, I'm surprised they haven't done
Yeah.
that before. Yeah, that's great, though. That's good
Yeah,
to hear.
good for them.
Yeah, really cool.
Cool. Well, that's all I really got in the news because it's been a sad week or so.
Everybody stay home. Lock your doors.
Wash your goddamn hands. That's all you really need to do is wash your damn hands. Sorry, kids. There's literally kids in the background, and I keep cursing
They're
very
not
loudly.
listening.
They're really
playing-
not.
They're playing pinball.
I don't know.
They're
One of
not
them
listening.
shot me a weird glare.
Wow.
But that leaves more time to talk about the fun here at Stolen Sun. I took a sip of the coffee as Wayne was talking after the article, and my eyes went into the back of my head because this coffee is incredible.
Thank you.
Did we explain why we're drinking coffee? For those that have never heard Jonathan on the show before.
We are a full-service roastery.
I mean, we kind of alluded to it earlier.
Yeah. Some people need it to be told to them directly.
Yes. A full coffee roastery as well as a full brewery and restaurant as Dana has food brought to the table. It looks incredible. It's such a cool place here, man. It's like everything I want.
We made the Elvis burgers just for you guys.
The
If you remember.
Oh my God, do you see his face? I put it in the notes.
Yeah, I saw it too.
I don't read.
Yeah.
Oh, he doesn't read my notes.
Yep.
All the pre-production work I do, Jonathan. This is his punishment now.
Trust me, I do appreciate your pre-production work. It's just been a shitty week. But I'm so happy about that because I completely forgot.
So that's let's remind everybody what the Elvis burger consists of: peanut butter, banana, bacon,
Some kind of bacon marmalade.
bacon
bourbon,
marmalade. Yeah. We talked about it at
Perforia. Yeah.
It's pretty much a bunch of stuff you don't really think would be that great, but it's
amazing.
it's pretty good.
Yeah. It's lots of things that probably aren't good for you, but taste.
Oh, of course not. That's why
delicious
Elvis
together.
That's exactly
the
why
burgers.
he died. See, when I go, I want to go the same way as Elvis.
That's the way to do it.
On a toilet after
On
eating
a
whatever I
toilet?
want forever.
After eating a peanut butter and banana. Is that what he eats?
Yep. Beer has arrived at the table as well.
Ooh, boy.
Nice.
Wow.
No,
as exciting
there's
as
still coffee in there.
Don't you dare! Don't you dare!
Fancy carafes.
Oh, this coffee is really nice.
Oh, you still... Did you already pour yourself
He
more?
did. He did.
Yeah, and Dan was upset, and I pointed to the other one because
Thank
there's more in there.
Thank you for being considerate.
Okay.
Yeah. Some of us aren't.
Oh, my God. There's so much.
Look at all this
wait a
beer.
minute. This was not a thing last time we were
I
here.
know.
No, I know. We need to talk about that. That's in the notes, too. Since we last spoke, to Jonathan about Stolen Sun, some things have changed, and a number of those things are at the table
They are
right now.
on the table.
One of those is several 4-packs of cans, which is
Yes.
really cool and exciting. The other is Chris, who is here, who we haven't met before. So before we, I'm all for pouring a beer right now, and we'll figure out what we're going to start with. But while we do that, why don't we talk about Chris, get to know you, where you came from, how you ended up at Stolen Sun.
All right, awesome. So
She's an angel sent
I'm-
from heaven, actually.
Oh, is that where? Okay.
This
That's
is the first I'm hearing
that
that.
is an
That's
amazing
great.
resume.
So I've been here for about a year now. I came over from Victory Brewing. I was at their Parksburg facility for about a year and a half. I went to the U Sciences Brewing Science program, went through there, ended up working at Victory. While I was doing that, I was the hop assistant at Victory, so I weighed out hops for 40 hours a week. Since they use their whole flower hops and everything, they have an entire position that is dedicated to pulling apart those bales of hops and putting them into giant trash cans. And that's what I did. Worked my way up there through the assistant brewer and eventually brewer position. While I was going through all of that, I was also interning over at Root Down Brewing in Phoenixville.
Oh, cool.
So I graduated from U Sciences and was a brew house operator over at Parksburg and Victory for a year or so, and then I made the transition over here to Stolen Sun. And now here we are.
So
How did you get her here?
It's amazing, and you know what? The beers are better than ever, and she takes care of everything.
I mean, the beers were pretty
That's
damn
awesome.
good last
They
time.
were good
too.
before. They were good. All right, so let's crack open a beer because now I really want to drink one.
So-
Which one are we going to start
So
with?
today we actually released Jay-Z's Hazy, which we've
Let's go
had
for it.
previously. We have Corey Danks as our graphic designer down in Philadelphia. He does all of our labels. Amazing labels, actually. So this is Jay-Z's Hazy. You want to talk about what's in it?
It's, juice bomb, what all the kids want these days. Super hazy. There's double dry hopped. It's Mosaic, Idaho 7, Galaxy. It's all the best hops.
So as a brewer that we haven't met before, we have to ask you, and feel free to be completely honest, what are your thoughts on this style of beer?
I think it's a little crazy that people like things just because they're hazy. I have no problem with delicious hazy beers, but the fact that some people love things just because they're hazy is a little nuts. You'll take the same beer that's not hazy and make it hazy, and all of a sudden now people love it, which
Right.
is a little wild to me. So, but yeah, I have no problem with
That
like
being
a
said, our
delicious
hazy beers
beer.
are amazing.
Our
They
hazy
are the
beers are the
best.
best.
And this is nice. I really enjoy this.
It's because it has mosaic in it.
Exactly, and I feel like as for you, John, as someone who appreciates coffee and appreciates the sort of brighter characters you get out of coffee that a lot of people, especially like I think in America, don't really, because a lot of people in this country are all about dark roast coffee. They feel like, and we talked about this before.
They feel
how,
like it's real coffee.
like that's like the darker,
That's it.
that's it. And then you miss
They
a lot
like
of
it
the nuance.
strong.
Exactly, and I feel like a lot of that carries over to a good IPA that presents hop characters in a way that's not like sort of either like the old school like super bitter or like now the super sweet and soft. And I feel like this has that nuance of the hop flavors, a lot of that bright sort of herbal characters that I think get lost a lot of times when you go to the extreme of one or the other.
Yeah, and the tropical flavor is amazing in it, right? We this year we added Galaxy to it also, so it's just loaded with the best hops.
Yeah, just a
Ever.
little bit of the Galaxy, and it makes such a huge difference.
Yeah. It's really nice.
I like that it's not overly sweet. There's sweetness there, but it's not hanging around. That's what I always hate about the mass-produced and the ones that all the kids want. It's too sweet. It stays well after its welcome is worn out. This is good.
Yeah,
You
you could drink it all night.
Yeah, it's got all the flavor, and
Yep.
right afterwards, like I want another sip because it's not killing my palate.
And I think that's one of the things that we try to focus on here is like very aggressive, clean beers.
Yep.
And then we also like beers that have my name on it, too. So that's-
We love those.
yes, we have a whole line of John products here.
I remember Uncle John. Was it Uncle John's beer?
Yes,
was that what it was
Uncle
called?
John's, yeah.
That was a really good one. It didn't occur to me until just now that not only are those your initials, but your initials are Jay-Z.
That's right. Isn't that great?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why we have Jay-Z's
Yeah.
Hazy.
Because when you said Jay-Z's hazy, I was thinking like Jay-Z,
That's right.
the Jay-Z.
I'm the
But you're the
Jay-Z,
Jay-Z,
actually.
really.
And it looks just like you.
That's right.
It does. It does look just like
Similar.
you.
This one we just got out in cans today, previously just on draft.
Super exciting seeing the beer in cans.
Yeah.
It is awesome. Here's the new Exton, which we had last time, but I figured I'd just show you guys the can, the artwork. Super great tropical.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
I like that.
Little hop swimming, little
There's a little
crab
hop
hops.
crab.
The business monkey here is really
It's corporate monkey.
corporate monkey.
monkey.
I
Yes.
actually didn't realize that when I looked at it. I was like, it's a monkey with a suit on. Corporate monkey. I like that.
You are what you drink.
Yes. I believe that.
Yeah, that checks out.
So this was one of the last releases we had here. This is our I hate these things. Unicorn tarts.
Oh, nice.
If you look down on the brewery, we have unicorn pop tart.
Yeah, we have the Unicorn Power Pop Tart.
Yes.
Oh, I see them on the
Yeah.
ledge. Yes.
Oh, wow,
Yep.
yeah.
There they
There
are.
they
Toaster pastries.
Yes.
Toaster
Toaster
pastries. Yes, yes. Generic toaster pastries.
And so I found those at BJ's when there wasn't quite the rush at BJ's. It was just kind of me.
Is there a shortage of Pop Tarts now?
Well, there are actually. These were super rare.
Because they bought them all.
Right. Yeah. And I had a very strange look from a lady at the register when I had a whole shopping cart full of them.
50 pounds.
Wow.
We couldn't make eye contact because she was just like, these are a lot of Pop-Tarts.
Did you crumble them when you added
so
them?
gonna ask,
how
do
were
they
they
go in?
added to the beer?
We just tossed them in. I mean,
Just
kinda
the
like
rakes break
whatever.
them up.
One at a time.
We just throw them in.
Wow.
Ate some and take a bite, throw it in.
Of course.
You have to do that. You absolutely have to.
So this is the second batch of it. This was our 100th batch we brewed. And we asked, our social media folks, hey, what would you like us to brew? And unfortunately, they chose this one. But what we did this time is we actually added some Michigan tart cherries to it to really emphasize the flavor. And
I think it just adds a little bit more body to it.
and it makes it nice and pink.
Yep, makes it pink.
Ooh. It is a very lovely color.
I enjoy tart cherries, but I don't ever buy them. They're like a special treat for myself. So I'm really looking forward to this. Plus, they're good for gout, so there's
So
that.
I saw a question that came up in my mind when you were talking about Chris being the hop person at Victory,
Yes.
basically just filling barrels of hops all day. Smelling fresh hops is always great and fun, but do you get sick of it when you're around them all the time, or do you just get numb to it?
I just got numb to it. I didn't even notice it anymore, and it got to a point where I wore the same overalls and everything in there every day. So my workspace was a cold box. It was like an insane room where it was just white walls in this tiny little room. I was by myself, and
Are you
there was
sure
no
you
one
weren't
to talk
actually
to.
in an asylum?
I
and just
might have been. I
hallucinating
might have.
that
This
you were
might
working
have
for
never
Victory?
happened. This may have never happened. But I would only, this is gross. I would only wash my overalls once at the end of the week.
Yeah.
But I was covered in old hops all the time because the oils would just get on me. And there was someone who worked in the lab over there who I remember walking down the hall one day and her just going, "Chris?" It's yeah. She's I can smell you. You smell like cheese. It's great, thanks. I'm
That's
the one who
accurate.
smells like cheese.
Old
awesome.
hops. Yeah.
I'm that person.
Oh my god, that's funny. So with that, I'm fascinated by this now. Would that, when you wash your overalls, would that carry over to other clothes? Would you have to wash them separately and run an empty cycle afterwards to get the hops out of the
No,
washer?
it came right out. It's all
Okay.
organic.
Oh, yeah, that's fair.
It's pretty easy.
Breaks down. Yeah.
She made beer with them.
Just these overall washing tips for everyone.
Yes. I'm just fascinated by the idea that your whole job was to just sort of
That
shovel
was
hops
it.
around.
I would
Yeah.
just pull bales apart.
Yeah.
It was a crowbar.
Oh
I
yeah.
would take a crowbar.
Nice.
So I just went to check this one in on Untapped, and is the full name of the beer Unicorn Tarts a magical pop tart tail?
Yes.
What's the tail?
Well, it's TALE.
Yeah. Well, I didn't know if that meant that there was a story, like a tall tale behind it or not.
No, just
Okay.
Once
What's
upon
the
a
tall
time.
tale?
ale. It's an ale. So
Okay.
it's
Oh,
It's just,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's T-ale.
yeah, a lot of layers. That one's a bit of a stretch, to be honest. The tale is he went and bought a whole shit ton of Pop Tarts.
That's a
threw in
tale.
a beer.
That's a tale for the ages.
Yeah, I do. I really enjoy this.
Me
This
too.
is really nice. And normally sometimes like you hear about people throwing crazy shit in beers, and you're kind of like, it's just a gimmick. It's just, but this is really nice, and I really enjoy it, and I really like the label and the whole like aesthetic behind it, and the.
I love unicorns too.
Yeah. There's a thing with like Saucony Creek's really into unicorns too.
Oh, yeah.
It's like a thing with brewers, and there was a. Blood of the Unicorn was a beer that was around a long time ago. I remember because I used it in Libation or Fabrication early on in the podcast.
How do you remember that?
I remember the weirdest random
He has
shit.
the best memory
No, I don't.
of
See,
the
that's
three of
the
us.
thing.
Of the three of us, you do, and that's really sad.
That is really sad because I don't remember anything important. I just remember random nonsense.
Have there been any magical happenings in the brewery since the last time we were here? I remember that fabulous explosion that you happened to have videotaped.
That's right.
That was fun.
That was very
We haven't
fun.
done that.
No, we didn't do that.
We were worried that was going to be chosen for the 100th batch.
We did not want to
We'd have
recreate that.
the hop explosion, so that didn't happen.
That's funny. I didn't even think of that.
I don't know. Is anything? Nothing too weird.
I took off the wrong valve and a yeast exploded in my
Right,
face.
yeah, that was.
I feel like every brewer has to do that at some point.
Yeah, it happens.
Just call it a facial.
It happens.
Besides that, I think
No, it's been pretty tame.
until you brought it up.
Yeah,
Now something
Thanks a
will
lot.
happen.
Yeah,
Well, are the cameras still in there?
they are.
Okay, so we're good. I expect to see it on
They're
social
always
media.
recording. Yes.
Purely just in case something exciting happens.
Let's hope so. All right, so Corporate Monkey.
Corporate Monkey.
Let's bang them out.
He's trying to get us drunk, I think.
Well,
he
I
really
feel
is.
like we're like kind of really low energy right now. We all need to catch a buzz before like to
Well,
kind
at
of
this point, really all we got to do is get drunk.
That's true. That's true.
I mean, it's
Yeah, we're all a bit all right. So we kind of talked about this earlier before we started going, but we're going to talk about it now. If you're listening to this in the future, this is the week that the coronavirus exploded.
it's
here.
Friday the 13th.
And it's
It
also
is, yeah.
Friday
It's
the
crazy.
13th.
It's Friday
We've
the
all had a
13th.
crazy week. Dan's working from home for the next month.
I'm not working
Steph
for the
doesn't
rest
know
of the month.
what's going
And
on.
maybe
You need to
further.
put that in quotes when you say working from home.
Well, here's
Yeah.
here's my thing.
I'm working from
I
home.
work at an IT walk-up help desk. I fix technology in person. This is gonna fuck me
That's
up.
weird.
I don't know how to do
Yeah.
my job when I'm not at my job.
And as we were talking about this outside, my response was, I work at a restaurant in a hospital. So my week has been crazy.
Wow.
My hands are literally raw and rashy from gloves
Why am I sitting
and
next to
washing.
you?
I know, right?
It's
I
like,
know.
this is
I've
the
been
worst
very, very
seat.
careful,
Why
but
didn't
like,
you warn
He
me?
probably has the best immunity, though.
that's true. That's
I
true.
don't though.
Yeah. Well, I spent many years of my life living in squalor, so I've built a, quite a hardy outer shell. So if we're a little like jaded and like kind of like right now, I
Yeah.
think that's why.
Although this
We've
is
all had
it's
really
a nice
long week.
relief. It's a nice
Yeah.
respite from
Yeah,
the
yeah,
real
yeah.
world. So I'm so happy
I feel like we were going to try to avoid talking about it too much, and like maybe
Well,
after
you
this
can't
we shouldn't
not.
bring it up again. But like I just felt like we should put it out there for posterity.
Yeah,
If you're
well,
listening to
and
this
I'm
episode.
curious, as a business owner, I'm sure you have concerns.
It's completely nuts. I mean, from a few days ago to today, wondering, well, what if they close all of the non-essentials, and we're a non-essential business as they've already done.
I beg to differ.
Wait, beer is not
Well,
essential?
I would agree, but like,
Not all,
Especially
but we're-
now.
and coffee.
Yeah,
I mean,
what do you really do? Like, we have
Yeah.
customers that come here to drink our beer, and then we have customers in the wholesale world that drink our beer. And if there's no customers out drinking beer, well,
Yeah.
guess what?
Well, and
So-
something that you mentioned before we started recording was that you can't like just shut down for an unknown period of time. Like you're a small business. It's not like you
Yeah,
don't
it's
necessarily
true. And,
have.
I mean, all of us brewers. I mean,
Yeah.
I've talked to a few of them in the last couple of days to say like, hey, what are you guys going to do? And everyone just has really no idea. And
Yeah.
it's just a scary time because it could be 2 weeks, it could be 8 months.
yeah, you don't know.
If
Yeah, and it's so much uncertainty. I think is the worst part about it.
I mean, I think people are always I don't think people always are going to drink beer.
Yeah.
So we just need to figure out a way to get beer to people and keep beer sales going.
Yeah.
I mean, one way or the other, people are going to like. If I'm in my house all week long, I need beer.
Yeah.
A
Absolutely.
lot of beer.
And Pop Tarts.
A lot of Pop Tarts.
And toilet paper, apparently. I mean, apparently people in this country
Don't get me
shit
started
a
on
lot.
the toilet paper. Like,
Something is going on that they haven't told us.
I
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
This would not be an issue if Americans embraced bidets.
Yes.
Yeah, well,
I want to buy. Maybe we can get a 2-for-1 deal.
Okay.
Now there's
They're
going to be
probably on
now there's
Amazon.
going to be a run on bidets. See, there they go. There it goes. That's it.
Yeah, the toilet paper thing is weird.
That is weird. That's really
It doesn't
strange.
make any sense
yeah.
at all.
Yeah. I'm curious, and I know this is like early days in all of this right now. Have you seen more like takeout sales of people coming in and buying like 4-packs and leaving?
No,
I mean,
not
because
really.
like there's a lot of people here tonight.
Yeah,
I was kind of
Yeah,
curious
it's
how it was
kind
going
of-
to be
well,
when we got
it's
here.
Friday the 13th too, so
Yeah.
I think that may be part of it, and I don't really fully get it. I don't understand what people are doing out right now.
Yeah, I think they're
I'm
just
super happy, and
Yeah.
I'm not. I've been to Colombia and Guatemala in the last like few weeks, and New York City the other day for a food show.
Why am I sitting next to you?
We
I
found
know,
the source.
Exactly. I'm like,
You're patient zero.
Patient zero. But like, honestly, I don't know. I mean, I can't just hide. And
Yeah.
I mean, I got a business to run. I got to buy coffee. I
Yeah.
got to we got a lot of things in the works here. And unfortunately, as we're kind of like planning our year out and how we want to grow and what do we want to do next. And, we have a lot of things going right now. It kind of sucks that this is, a big unknown. And it's like, how do we grow the business now? Like, I don't know. Like,
Yeah, it's one of
how do you
those-
make investments when you have no idea if people are going to be?
So have
Yeah.
you put the brakes on some things then?
Yeah, we have. There's been a couple kind of expansion things that we've been talking about and working through that, like, we have to. Like, if I'm in the middle of construction and
All of a sudden, you
People
can't
aren't-
open your doors for business. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah,
what do I do?
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
it's a very tough time just to kind of plan a business. We're at the beginning of the year. We have all these like kind of goals and aspirations,
Mm-hmm.
and if you know me, like, I'm always like trying to like, what's the next thing we're gonna do? What's the next thing we're gonna do?
Right.
And now it's like, well, hopefully we'll be, everyone's gonna be all right.
Just going to be okay and get by. Yeah, and I think it's a perfect example of, and it's a good thing for people to like. Everybody and their mom is opening a brewery and has been for like last couple of years, which is great. But I feel like not everybody's like prepared to run a business necessarily. And this is a perfect example of one of those like unknown unknowns when you start a business. You never know when something weird's going to happen that's completely out of your control that you never expected.
It's
And-
completely insane. I mean,
Yeah.
it like literally, like, we rely on income.
Yeah.
We rely on, like, it's insane. And we're just a small business. Like, my wife and I own this business. We have no partners.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, luckily we're doing well here.
Right.
And, we're not like in any bad issue right now, but like 6 months down the road, if it's like this,
Yeah.
which I really think it's going to be a couple weeks. That's my phone.
Yeah, I kind of hope it.
I mean, that's what I'm hoping happens here.
Yeah. The other thing too is like, you want to be prepared for some things, but how do you prepare for this?
You don't.
Nobody sees this coming.
You don't, and guess what? Like, insurance doesn't take care of it.
No,
Like,
not at all.
There's an out for everyone where it's like literally, hopefully the government helps us, if it gets down to the point of needing to help us with loans or whatever that we have, like, hopefully
Yeah.
we're, our tax money has done something for us and we're able
hopefully.
to, but we're fine.
Yeah.
We're right now, it's all good.
Yeah.
When
And,
we
like,
listen to this in 6 weeks, we may be like,
We're going to be like,
yeah, what are we
completely
worried about?
panicking.
Yeah.
But right now, we're drinking a lot of beer.
Exactly.
Getting
It's like
drunk.
you said, people will always drink beer. People will always drink coffee. You provide two of them, and you provide damn good
That's right.
options of them. So, like, this is you're putting things out into the world that people will not be able to give up.
And toilet paper. We don't do toilet paper.
But you should.
We should. We really should get into
Saucony
toilet
is
paper.
giving
We just
away.
saw on
You can
Facebook.
buy toilet paper with their beers.
Yeah,
We-
Suburban also. They were doing.
were they doing that too?
They
Of
were,
course
they were
were.
giving away toilet paper with meals.
That's funny. That's funny. All right. Well, back to
Yes.
happier things. We are now sipping on
Corporate
the Corporate
Monkey.
Monkey
Corporate
Triple.
Monkey. So this is an homage to my past life, and it's a triple. On this label, actually, it says, we'll make you forget the ass you just kissed. But yeah, TTV made us take that off, so that
Oh.
will not be in the next version of this label.
So, question on that. So, do you
It's
sell?
delightful.
It
It's
is
what?
really
It
nice.
is
delightful.
super clean,
It's really nice.
a little bit of clove.
Does
Little
not
bit too
taste
much
like
banana,
it's 10
but-
point whatever percent.
No, it doesn't.
No, it
doesn't.
it's
but
over 10%?
super drinkable.
Yeah.
Oh,
What's the
shit.
triple?
Well, yeah, this makes sense.
Yeah, it doesn't have like that. Yeah, like that cloying sweetness that you get with a lot of like the higher ABV Belgians. Really nice. Do you sell these cans outside of the brewery?
Yes.
Okay, because I know like if you only sold them here, would the TTB still be able to say you have to take that off?
We only have certain labels that we bring that. Right. We have like Jay-Z Hazy is an approved label.
Right.
New Exton's approved label. The Unicorn Tart's not approved.
Right, but you can still sell it
We can
here,
sell them in here, but that's
not
it.
distribute
That's
them.
it.
Right, right.
So, and we've actually just started getting distributed in Montgomery, Chester, and Delco by Lamb. So they kind of are distribution partner, even though we still also self-distribute. They help us as well. And we've been self-distributing in Reading now for the last like maybe 3 months.
Yay.
And we've been getting to a lot of great bars.
Where
in
it's
Reading.
specifically in Reading? For our favorite
Canal
local listeners,
Street.
Of course.
Of course.
Barley Mow, Liberty. What is the place above the auto place?
Above the auto place.
It's
Nitro
right
Bar?
across from Barley Mow. Nitro. Yeah, that place is awesome.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, upstairs at Nitro, Mike's Beer Mart, Ugly Oyster,
Oh, the oyster.
PJ Wellahan's in Reading.
PJ Willahans. I forgot they were in Reading.
Yeah.
I think that may. Let me think about what it is. I know I'm missing some, but
That's a good
so
list.
we're getting out there.
Yeah,
Nice.
that is a good list where people go to get beer that's good.
Yes, that's where we want to be.
Makes sense.
Where people like good beer. We're slowly kind of like getting beers out there, which is great, but we're doing it slow.
There's something to be said for going slow. You're analyzing it. You're taking the right approach. You're not flooding the market. You're picking and choosing where you are.
Yeah. And,
Not
I mean,
overwhelming the brewer.
not overwhelming the brewer is
No,
very
that
important.
We are trying to overwhelm the beer, is what's happening. But no, I mean it's been rough because Chris has had to she's kind of kicked me out of the brewery. I just kind of give her my bad ideas and she makes something happen with them.
I've definitely kicked you out of the brewery.
Yes. But it's been great because we're able to, everything keeps coming out delicious and fresh and I don't have to worry about anything in the brewery, which is amazing.
Have you, which side of the business has been higher volume, the coffee or the beer?
Good question.
Definitely beer.
Beer? I would
Beer-
think so.
Beer pays
yeah.
all the bills. Coffee
Yeah.
is like a fun little hobby.
So beer allows you to
Yes.
do the coffee.
Yes,
Yeah,
I get to. That's
yeah.
why I get to go to Colombia.
Yeah.
Close your ears, Chris. Guatemala. Yeah, this is how I get to do all my fun little trips. But I do really believe that the coffee piece is going to follow quickly here because before this whole illness thing happened, we have things in motion to try to really build our coffee business to where I think we can kind of be successful.
Yeah, and I remember
in it.
talking to you the first time we were here. I think we had a conversation about that, how you were really, the beer, obviously you open a brewery, everybody shows up. That's
Yes.
pretty much and as long as your beer doesn't suck and you're a decent business person, you'll probably survive for a while. But yeah, you talked about really trying to grow the coffee side of it. And, I where I work, we serve La Colombe coffee, and they talk about the third wave of coffee. We may have talked about this before, and I don't really know what that means. But would this be the fourth wave of coffee?
No, it's still third wave coffee. Yeah, I mean light roast coffees, high quality specialty coffees. But I think our coffees, our reputation for coffee here is amazing. I probably have just many people come up to me and tell me they love our coffee.
Right.
I can see why.
Yeah.
I almost got caught up a couple of years ago in a coffee. Let's just call it a pyramid scheme. We're going to call it exactly what it was.
Is there any bacon involved?
No,
Probably
no.
was. If it's Dan, there's always
Marmalade, is
bacon
there
When I
involved.
worked at
Bourbon.
IKEA, a dude I worked with was like, yeah, I sell coffee on the side. That's cool. I drink coffee a lot. He's like, yeah, you should sell. I'm like, wait, what? He goes, yeah, all it takes is $200 to get your
Oh,
startup
here we
kit,
go.
and then you start making all the money on the side. I make most of mine through subscriptions, so you got to get subscriptions. And when you sign somebody up, you're going to get a finder's fee. And I thought about it for a little bit, and afterwards I was like, this motherfucker is trying to get me trapped in this stuff.
Wow. Nothing is sacred, not even coffee.
So you mentioned that this beer, the Jay-Z's, was released today.
Yes.
But you had another beer that was released in cans today as well, right?
We did. We'll bring that up next.
Okay. We can talk about it later.
Or
We can
talk
drink
about
that
it now.
since you're opening it.
So this is.
I can
you
say
know,
that again and we can cut that out.
cut.
That's how this works.
So this is actually our go-to juicy IPA here. We love this beer. We've been making this almost since the beginning. I
The
think
new
we had this
Exton.
when
Yeah.
you
Oh
guys
yeah.
were
This
here
is
as well.
definitely one of your
So
flagships. Is the word I was trying to think of. I couldn't even think of the word flagship. Man. My brain is
Is that
fried.
still a thing? Do people still do flagships?
Yeah. Anyway, do people still do flagships?
Damn it, now I have to finish the triple.
yeah, we almost have
Chug
to.
the triple. Hashtag chug
No,
the
I'll
triple.
just drink out of
There
her
you go.
glass and then I don't have to chug it.
Sometimes it gets really confusing with all the releases that we do to like educate our customer when our customer sometimes is like a bar and the bar may not necessarily want to know. It may be just too much information.
Right.
Just like to know like, oh, they have Uncle John's, they have, New Exton, and next thing you know, it's like, oh, they have
Yeah.
a Pop-Tart beer.
Like I don't want to have to learn the details
Yes.
of like all these other beers.
So for some, it works out great. Some bars love what we have new coming out, and then some bars just want that beer they can get each and every time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because their customer also doesn't, everyone's got a different customer base. So it's really about when you sell beer, like knowing this account is going to sell to this clientele.
Right. Yeah. Well, and also, and this is something we talk about a lot on the show, is that like right now in the beer industry, the tap room is where it's at. Like
Absolutely.
distribution is not really the goal for a lot of new breweries anymore. It's more about creating a space, serving food, having coffee, having a place for people to come and hang out, play pinball. And that crowd, I think, is going to show up and get excited for these new crazy beer releases. Whereas the people who are still going out to bars and drinking, they might choose a craft selection. They might have a couple of craft beers they like, but I feel like they're not the same demographic that's like always looking for that new interesting thing to
I do
try.
think it's a combination of both.
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't just want to be retail because I feel like you're just limiting your exposure.
Right.
And, like, we're able to get out to some great draft accounts and have some great partners out there that really help support us, love our beer, and, ultimately, like we love when people love our beer. So for us, in like a narcissistic point of view, like it's great to be out and to be at places that have our beer and be like our beer is good enough that they want to drink it in other places too. So it's kind of twofold. I mean,
Yeah.
I love
And-
the retail business, don't get me wrong, and
Right.
it's great margins, but like we couldn't do what we do without our wholesale because that also helps us brew volume and helps us get throughput and also helps us make some money and also helps them make money. So we're kind of, I wouldn't want to not do one
Right.
without
Yeah, and it
the
creates
other.
good partnerships and it
Absolutely.
opens up new opportunities. Do you think, and I don't remember specifically, but when did you guys actually open?
September 2000.
Why are you looking at her?
I don't know. 'Cause I'm terrible with dates.
But how many?
It's like 16 months, 17 months.
Okay, so like not quite 2 years.
Yes,
Okay.
correct.
Because my question was, I wonder if you open the doors today, coronavirus notwithstanding, do you think it would be harder to get into distribution? Do you think that you got a foothold early enough on?
I think we're pretty late into it.
Yeah, that's what I was
actually.
going to say.
Yeah, I think
because I was actually thinking it was a bit longer. I was thinking you guys
Yeah.
were closer to 3 years.
No, I think we're actually a bit late, but
Right.
it hasn't been too. It's not hard to get distribution. It's hard to actually keep beer on the shelves. There's a lot of beer on the shelves.
Yeah.
So like if you go into a distributor, like you're just looking for pretty beer labels.
Yeah, pretty
Well,
much.
you have pretty beer labels.
You do have
so-
very eye-catching
And you have
labels.
orange.
And right,
what do you
exactly.
call these things?
The
Pactex.
Say it again.
Pactec.
Okay.
Pactex.
So yeah, I mean it's a bit about the label. Hopefully we have great beer inside the cans as well. But
So far, yeah.
I mean, honestly, people are
We'll
looking
see if that
at
continues.
pretty labels.
Yeah.
Like it's hard.
It
it's
is, it
hard
is.
to be in a distributor right
Yeah,
now.
like 5-10 years ago, it didn't really matter what your label looked like.
And then it's price point.
Yeah,
You know,
that's
and,
true too.
and we don't brew cheap beer, so it is difficult to, be on a shelf next to a 4-pack that may be $13, and ours are maybe $18 to $20.
Yeah, but I feel
That's-
like beer consumers have adjusted to the craft beer price point.
And if there's a unicorn on the can,
it's
those
money.
fuckers are going to pay $20.
Total
I'm
money.
sorry.
That's true.
That's right.
That's true.
Let's be honest.
You know, I never really thought about the label on the shelf, but it totally makes sense.
oh my
because-
God, it's huge.
And looking
Yeah.
back,
it's like
I
the
have-
cover of the book.
I've bought
Yeah.
beer based off the label. That's
Oh,
the
all
reason
the
I know
time.
about clown shoes.
I still do. Like I
Yeah.
mean, like obviously, like I've a
Go
lot
ahead.
more experience with beer now than I used to.
Oh, I
be.
thought you were going to humble brag for a second. Never mind.
But no, I'll still like if I go to a bottle shop. Like obviously, I know the beers I like, I know the breweries I like, I know the styles I like, but also like sometimes I'll be like, "Ooh, that's pretty,"
Yeah.
and I'll just be like, "Oh, let me check it out," and I'll read it and see what it is, and then decide if I want to get it. But yeah, that eye-catching thing.
The
even
worst
for-
is when the beer is terrible.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you're sitting there like with 3 other beers
Yeah.
going, who am I going to give
Yeah.
these to?
Yeah.
Why
yeah,
did
yeah.
I do this to myself?
Well, it'd be very disappointing. Like if the label's gorgeous and the beer is awful, like just
It's
ugh.
terrible.
It
Oh.
has happened.
Yeah, yeah.
Not tonight.
Not tonight. Not
Definitely not. So New Exton, super delicious, great in a can.
It's
Want to
crushable.
drink it all
Do
night
people say
long.
that anymore?
Yes,
I
it
think
is
the kids do.
crushable.
I think
Kids
the kids
We
still
say it all the time. We're all
Yeah,
like crushable.
constantly.
Yeah.
Just constantly crushing it.
Crush the
Hashtag
shit out of
crushable.
it.
Crushing it.
Crushing
yeah, super
everything.
crushable.
You had this at Bruforia, right?
We did.
Okay, I thought
we
so.
did.
I think we've had it all 3 times he's
Yeah.
been on the show. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
you twice.
I know. Whatever.
Oh, talk about
Whatever.
humble brag.
But this time in a can.
in a can.
In a can.
There's 2 of them.
There are.
So I have a question. I've been paying a lot more attention to this lately because I'm dating a vegan. Do you? I know you guys do a lot of like.
Our
hazy
beers are
stuff.
not vegan.
Do you use lactose?
We do not use any lactose in any of our beers.
Okay.
No, we do not. The only exception to that might be the Quack of Dawn we did with
Okay.
Duck Donuts. So I put fondant in the kettle, and I'm not 100%.
You said that you were very uncomfortable when you said
Yeah,
that.
you could tell by my face.
You want me to put what in the kettle?
Yeah,
Fondant?
it was an experience. You know, if you ever watch those baking shows
Yeah.
where you take the
You roll it out
icing and you
then
roll it
it
out and mold it
forms.
into whatever
Yeah.
fancy thing those
Yeah.
people can make out of. I put that in the beer, and I'm not entirely sure what's in
What's
that.
in it? Yeah, I think
So-
it's just sugar. Really,
It's really sugar.
There might be egg. Though.
I may have eaten a little bit of it, and it was delicious.
Nice.
But that may have had some lactose in it. But other than
Right.
that, I do not. We don't intentionally put lactose in any of our beers.
Right. Yeah, it's always like nothing I ever thought about before, but I share a lot of beers with my girlfriend now, and she is vegan, and she's also very into hazy IPAs, which is okay.
That hurt you to say.
It did hurt a little bit, but that's okay. That's okay. To each their own. That's fine. She also said I have to bring some home for her from here, so I was just curious if any of them had lactose.
And,
Yeah, we
and
don't-
what
we
was
don't
her
have any
phrasing
lactose.
in asking you to bring?
Oh, I'll tell you. I still have the text.
I
Hold
hope
on.
you didn't delete the text.
She's gonna listen to this. She's gonna yell at me. It's gonna be funny.
We've heard some. Maybe I shouldn't.
Oh God, no!
She said, also bring home some hazies, please. Mama has a 3-day weekend.
Sorry, Jess.
I love you. That's fine. But yeah, so now I pay a lot more attention to that sort of thing. 'Cause
Yeah, and
it's-
a lot of people can't tolerate the lactose
That's the thing, too, yeah.
So it's all of our hazies, none of them have lactose in them.
Yeah, and well, the funny thing is, she has actually accidentally drank some beers, not knowing they had lactose in them, and loves them. Like, absolutely loves them. And like, yeah, well, milk is good. I mean,
No one becomes a vegan because they don't like milk products.
exactly. But yeah, so it's just something I pay attention to now that I never actually used to. More beers are arriving.
Ooh, oh, there's bottles.
They don't all have to go.
We can keep some of them. We'll keep some
They'll
new
be
Exton.
right there.
Nope, he's taking them all.
Steph was about to cry.
No, it's okay. It's okay. Just don't let them go far.
They'll be right on that table.
I can still see them.
We got
separation
a
anxiety.
fucking
I have separation anxiety
a
from the beer.
flats of those graphs from
That one's empty.
Naked. I don't know. We're never gonna drink all
Oh, I
of those.
forgot we had all those. Yeah, I might have.
I took one can and got yelled at.
Yeah, I drank like 4
Well,
of them so
pretend
far.
yelled at.
I might have more than a few
Yeah.
this weekend.
But it was literally like a case. They were just like, here, take it. Oh, something exciting is
Wow.
happening.
I think she's okay now.
It's the beer ducking. Oh, and baby juices. Check it out.
I was wondering. Oh,
This needs
right
to warm
there
up.
it is.
Oh yeah, Jay-Z.
You know what's hysterical? I was listening to a podcast one night, like the very beginning of it.
Wait, there's other podcasts?
No, your podcast.
Okay.
Ah.
And at the beginning of it, you guys were talking about baby juices, and I was like laughing my ass off. I was in my car just cracking up because, like, I forget what you're even talking about, but you're like, yeah, baby juices, like.
The creepiest named
Yeah.
beer.
Yeah, that's why we
about
remember
it,
it, and it comes up, and it's also written right here in front of me,
In a heart.
in a heart,
In a heart.
signed by Jay-Z.
So you guys released a beer in cans today, but you released another beer in cans today too.
Yes, we did, and that beer is coming up here in a second.
Fucking A! God damn it!
I
The
know,
second
we're-
time you got it
You
wrong.
had one
Motherfucker.
job.
Jesus.
You had one job.
You know,
It's not there.
Fuck!
Third time's the charm. You got this.
We
There's gonna be
saved them
burgers.
specifically for this.
I know you did. Thank you.
I'm excited about these bottles, though.
I am too. I'm excited about the
I
donut.
love the orange everywhere.
Yeah. That is such a striking color. Like that specific. Do you know the Pantone number
Oh,
of
man.
that specific orange? Your brand orange.
which
No.
or no, I could probably get it.
No, but it's really interesting.
It's here.
I'm not asking again. You can splice it in.
We're gonna do
Thanks.
like a supercut of all the times that Steph introduced this beer, and it wasn't.
It's gonna be an
so
the
outtake.
2 times.
So the cool thing is, if you look at these, we did this with Four Dogs Tavern in Westchester. We've been doing their house beer now for about a year, and we finally decided to get into cans. And we're working with La Mancha Pet Rescue, that's also out. I necessarily think it's Westchester, but it's out that direction.
Coatesville area.
And every can has a different dog on it. So it's 4 dogs,
Yeah,
4 dogs, 4 dogs.
Four dogs.
that's cool. There was a
They're not all necessarily available anymore. It was really tough to do this because
Really?
we actually designed the cans a couple times, and the darn dogs kept getting adopted.
I know.
how
What a
dare they.
great problem to have.
Terrible.
Are you going to mention Hazel? Is that
yeah, I
what
was
you
gonna
were
say
going with
yeah.
that?
There was a brewery in Florida that did the same thing, and there was a woman in like
She was-
Minnesota or
She was
something.
in Minnesota.
Yeah, she was in Minnesota and saw a Facebook post from the brewery because it went viral because they were doing the same thing with dogs and adoptions. And it turned out one of the dogs that was up for adoption was her dog that ran away when she lived in like Iowa. Dog wound
Yeah.
up in Florida. She moved to
crazy.
Minnesota
Yeah, it
and
was
got reunited with
3
her dog.
years later.
Yeah.
Saw this dog on the can and was like, "That's my dog."
And that dog was like, damn, I got to go back.
No, he said, "Get me the fuck out of Florida."
Yeah, right.
How do you feel about that, John?
Yeah, not good. I'm from Florida. Come
Are
on.
you really?
We knew that.
Well, what part of Florida?
South Florida. The worst part.
Remember what you said about my memory earlier?
Okay, so we
There's-
share it.
There's giant gaps.
Fair
So 4 dogs.
4
So, right.
dogs.
So this is our house beer, Mosaic, Cascade.
Mosaic, Cascade, Eldorado.
There you go.
Oh, this is nice.
Super nice,
Yeah,
right?
really nice.
Just keep using Mosaic. We like that.
And
Yeah,
so
I
here's
think
the
that's
thing,
what it
like,
is.
Mosaic's
That's the
probably the best.
we do a hand, well, not a hand. We do a couple house beers right now, and the one thing that we do with our house beers is
Put Mosaic in them.
well, and they're all solid beers. They're not like enjoy this amber, enjoy this golden. Like we're actually crafting really good beers for our kind of our draft partners, and I mean, they sell a ton of this. They love this beer. We love this beer.
I love this.
Yeah,
beer.
this
is
beer's
really
great.
nice. I think.
It's crushable, right?
Yeah, this and the new
Super
Exton, I
crushable.
could drink. I alternate back and forth all fucking
You
day.
can crush them all day.
I will crush
Crush
them
'em.
all day.
I liked the Pop-Tart beer.
Actually, I like the
I'm
Pop Tart
kind of
beer as well.
that too.
embarrassed to say.
Yeah, that's not very like
Why are you
That's
embarrassed?
not-
If you
that's
try
good
hard
beer.
enough, every beer's
I do.
crushable.
I do love Pop-Tarts, though. That is a fact.
Yeah, I mean, you could.
Except
you
a
could,
really cold Coors Light.
That's true.
really.
You
I tried
that.
to.
That is on video. Patreon.com/beerbusters.
You know
The
what's
second
weird?
time I
We
did well.
get responses on like the Pop-Tart beer that it's like too sweet.
It's
See,
a
no,
Pop-Tart.
I disagree
And it's
because
like,
It's
what
I
do
also,
you
can
it was not that
expect?
sweet, really.
It's a Pop-Tart beer.
but
a
it's also
Pop-Tart.
fucking Pop-Tart.
It's not that sweet, but
No.
what do
It
you
isn't.
really
Yeah.
expect?
Yeah.
touche.
It's
And
un-
who in this day and age is calling a beer too sweet? I mean, really?
Yeah, look at Untapped. You'll see real quickly.
I want to see if there's
the
some-
judges of all beers.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna do baby juices.
Yeah,
here,
okay.
'cause-
All right.
I made baby juices today. It was very
Yeah.
weird. A lot of people walked in the
Oh,
brewery and went, "What are you
man.
doing?" And I was like, "Making baby juices." Do you know
But
how
really, we
weird that
sell
is
a
to
lot of
say?
this.
I
It's
know.
great.
The last time I made baby juices was probably, what, 2 days ago?
No. This is a juicy
Steph still has beer
session
in her
beer.
God.
Juicy session beer.
Please don't talk about making baby juices. I still have the last one.
Well, you have
Well,
to drink your
fix
baby
that.
juices.
So Chris actually made our baby juices better.
Tweaked the
Thank
baby
you.
juices?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I've read articles
Absolutely.
about that.
Absolutely. Yeah, no.
Apparently
There's a lot of vitamin
There's
C.
pills you can take that make
Yeah.
it taste different.
If you eat a lot of
I was
Pineapple.
going to say, I've been
Hold
told
on
to
a
eat
second.
pineapple.
Pineapple.
Oh, well, we're actually going to do a pineapple baby juices coming out soon. So
Perfect.
Yes.
Perfect. You can put the research on the can.
that's right.
It'll be delicious and informative.
So for our listeners, baby juices is in fact
It's a delicious session juice beer.
Juice beer.
It's a session juice beer.
It's a session juice beer.
So we actually just started putting a touch of Galaxy in the finish, which really cleaned
Yeah,
it up
just in
nicely.
the dry hop. So it's
there
Citra,
mosaic in this?
There
Of course.
is mosaic, lemon drop, and then a little bit of Galaxy in the dry hop.
And it's
Ra-
for a 4.8% beer.
Yeah. Just raise the mash temperature, get a little bit more body to it. Just really fill it out.
It's nice.
You could crush this all day.
This is
You
crushable
can
as
crush
well.
baby juices.
Oh my God.
This
Love-
is a
love the
total
crush of
like
baby
coronavirus daily beer. Like you can drink this while the coronavirus is going on all
Yeah.
day long.
Is there
Yep.
going to be a baby boom coming up?
Oh, without a
There
doubt.
Everyone
definitely is.
I
Forced
think
to stay
it
home?
depends on how long and like severe it gets.
Everyone
but
needs
it's
baby
Depends how
juices
long
when
it
they're
is.
staying home.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I
All
think
kinds.
we need to start. We do know that. Never mind.
No, you
No,
can't
finish
stop
that
now.
sentence.
You
Finish
can't
the
stop
sentence. You're too
There's
far.
a sound
I
clip that
can't.
would be very
I
appropriate
can't.
right now.
It's probably the fucking semen, isn't it?
There it is.
Talking about the Navy.
Yes.
Yes.
Perfect.
Where were we?
Precisely. We were talking
Baby
about
How do we
juices.
get back?
This is terrible.
You
Hold on a
can't.
second.
You
I don't know.
can't.
Yeah, there's no recovering from this.
I like that our downtrodden bleak energy from earlier has dissipated
Yeah.
into
baby juices.
buzzed shenanigans. I'm glad that we got there.
Yeah.
we
usually
always
how
do.
this works.
We always do.
That's true. That is true. Should we?
Do we want to play a game?
Yeah.
Let's play a game.
Yeah, I think we should. Because I feel weird talking about baby juices.
The last time we played a game, we ended up with a new beer.
This is true. I remember
Yes.
this.
Oh,
that's right. That's right. And
Rent
thank you
check.
for that.
Yes,
Rent
we've
check.
done 2 runs of Rent Check. And
Someone
it's been,
that actually uses our ideas,
I know.
Yes.
Yeah.
unlike Ethan Buckman.
There'll be more ideas in this game.
Do you know Ethan?
Oh, Ethan.
Oh,
we know
do
Ethan very well.
So
Do
much
we
like
know
baby
Ethan?
juices are in front of Wayne, Ethan Buckman is in front of me.
Yeah. He had the yellow mic last time we were there.
Oh, I don't feel safe.
That was 2 episodes ago. He was eating what the
Some sort of
tachos,
yeah.
tater
I'm
tot
not
nachos.
surprised at all by this.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we did a whole photo
Can I
shoot
get
of
some?
him.
Do you have Clorox or Lysol or something?
we did
I
wipe
did-
it
I
down.
did wipe it
We
down.
literally
I got
wiped
you.
everything down.
I think like we did a collab with them, and he was here one day, and his quote was,
It was something about he just acknowledged that he was really dirty.
he was like, "I'm a
I'm a
disgusting
dirty
human-
person. I'm a
yeah.
disgusting human
He
being.
is. He does not
I was
shower
like, good thing
nearly
you got
as
that
often
out of
as
the
he
We
way.
recorded
Great,
there
wear
2
gloves.
episodes ago for like the 5th time, and yeah, he was fucking filthy.
He's always filthy.
I just made him wear gloves and we were fine.
Yeah.
Everything was fine.
He made a comment about socks in last call that was pretty interesting.
Well, we made our better than socks
Yeah,
beer.
the
with
Hanukkah
him.
beer we
Our
made with
Hanukkah
them.
beer.
Oh, really?
Yep, better than
Nice.
socks.
Better than socks. So anyway, where were we? We're playing
Cheers,
a game.
Internet.
Cheers, Internet, and welcome to Happy Fun Time Games, a podcast trivia segment that always washes its hands. Today, we are playing the tried and true
Oh, fuck.
libation or fabrication. So here's the thing. As we alluded to earlier, it's been a crazy week. So when it's a crazy week, when I'm either lazy or I don't have time, I do libation or fabrication because it's the easiest game to do. And it's also a lot of fun. But in this edition, none of the fake names I came up with, they're all like actual things that exist. So I will tell you a little bit about what they are.
So that's going to make this harder.
Yeah, also that it's going to make it so that you may not be able to use the fake names depending on which one you decide to run with. I'd have to look into it. But
Have you ever used baby juices on this game?
I have not because they would know. that would be
You
unfair
would
because
know.
they know
Yeah,
that
you're
Baby
right.
Juices is a real beer.
I mean, you can throw us a bone.
It would be good for the guests who don't listen to the show. They wouldn't know.
They wouldn't know. Yeah, but I don't want to give you guys an unfair advantage.
No.
Thanks.
Yeah. So, also, there's obviously never been a prize for winning Happy Fun Time games, but there's often been punishments. So I did not put together a punishment for today.
I'm sure we can come up with
We
that.
could
So,
mix.
do we want to do something? See, my thought process was I was really tired and had to work hours that I wasn't expecting to work this week. And also, like, we've all been punished enough over the past couple of days, so I was going to be like, maybe we won't do a punishment. But if you guys want to do, like, a suicide cup punishment,
I think we can
could
get
do that.
weird.
And
I
it
think
would be a safe punishment because we're pouring from cans, so we
Well,
wouldn't be
okay,
drinking
that was the
each
other thing
other's
because we
saliva.
often, like, end up sharing, and I feel like we shouldn't do that.
Let's not do that.
So we're not going to share.
I'm going to throw out there that I think the bag of condiments is still in the trunk.
Oh, God, it is.
The bag of condiments is in the trunk.
The bag of condiments. All right, well, let's put it to a vote. So,
Oh
you
my
guys
God.
won't know about this. 'cause
I'm
we
going to
didn't-
vote no.
We didn't. Okay, fair.
I vote yes.
We didn't do this.
I
so-
vote yes.
We didn't do this last time we
Vote
recorded
before
with
he
you.
finishes talking.
Here.
Yes.
There, we voted.
So
It's done.
we've been doing this thing. Well, I want to explain.
Yeah,
to
I don't
John
know the rules.
What's going on? And Chris. Well, Chris doesn't care. She's up for anything.
No,
She
I
care.
don't. Yeah, whatever.
Whatever. So we've been doing this thing where the loser of Happy Fun Time Games has to drink something gross, and we film it on our phones and we post it on Patreon. And we do it after the episode's over before we do last call. And sometimes when we don't have any ideas, the thing that we make that person drink is just a mix of all the beers that we've drank so far on the episode. And since I didn't prepare anything, we are proposing that we take fresh cans of the beers so that there's no coronavirus and mix them all together and make the loser drink that. Not, you don't have to drink the whole thing, but like taste
Sure.
it and be
Whatever.
grossed out.
I'm not going to lose, so I.
Oh, the
well, some
fucking
of these that
confidence.
still have beer in, we should put
That's
aside.
true. And those will be safe as well.
Yeah.
They're all
Also,
good beers, so together.
Maybe we
they
can
true.
open
The true.
more
I mean, it's really
Also,
not
maybe
gonna
we'll
be
throw
tough.
in a little coffee.
Well, that may be weird. But
That's
See,
the whole
I was
point.
thinking of that earlier. And
That's
I'm
the whole
glad
point.
Somebody else said.
All right, so maybe we'll do it. We'll probably do it.
We'll do it.
Fuck it, we'll do it live. But anyway, we're playing Libation or Fabrication. This is where you have to tell me if the name that I tell you is a real beer or if it's fake, or in this case, not a beer, but something else. And we will begin in time-honored tradition to my left.
what do you mean by something else?
Not a beer.
Oh, no.
Like, it's the name of something, but it's not the name of a beer. You are aware that beers often have very strange and funny names.
No,
That's kind of the
maybe
whole.
like Baby
Juice.
This is the whole premise of this game. I've been doing it for 7 years, and I still find weird, funny beers. So we'll begin with John to my left. and
This
her first
month is the first. Was it April we did the first
April.
one?
Yeah, next month, 7 years, 8
7
years,
years.
7 years,
Seven.
Seven.
Math.
2013, 7
Math years.
April 2013.
Anyway, our first beer of the game is called Hauling Oats. Is that real or fake?
It's real.
All right, saying that is real. Chris, what do you think?
Real.
Also saying real. Oh, everybody confident so far, Steph.
Real.
Ooh, real as well. Finally, Dan.
Yeah, real.
Everybody saying real. Everyone is correct. Hauling Oats
It's
is
an easy one.
real.
team.
Have you actually know what that beer is, or you just
No,
assume
it
that
just
it was
sounds
okay?
like a beer name.
Well, Hauling Oats is hard work. It's also a chocolate chip oatmeal cookie inspired oatmeal stout from Tenaya Creek Brewery in Las Vegas, Nevada.
We've all been there.
Yes.
Well, I don't think we've been to that brewery.
No, you haven't been to Tenaya Creek?
No.
Really?
I don't
Been
think
to,
so.
Sure? I've been there.
The
Love Lady and
Love
whichever
Lady.
one's on the old strip.
And the one by the
Like Old
fucking
Vegas.
Heart Attack Burger
Yeah.
place.
Oh yeah, I like it there.
Banger.
Banger. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
pretty good. Anyway, this brewery's there as well, and they make this beer. The official description mentions donkeys a lot, but is otherwise uninteresting, so I've decided to leave
I've
it
had this beer.
and move on.
Of course you imagine that. Steph,
Imagine that Steph has had
What's
this
up with
beer.
the donkeys?
Yeah, I'm kind of curious.
Something about donkeys hauling oats, and they go after carrots.
Your donkey
Oh.
deserves a reward for
There you
all
go.
its hard work. Just
Exactly
don't
what I
share
was
this
referring
treat.
to. Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was like a Holland Oats.
That's what I
See,
thought.
that's the
too.
thing. It's like hauling oats.
I
but
think it's both.
hauling oats. Yeah.
Gotcha.
So it's in yeah. Now that we've got the gist of it, moving on, and Chris is going to guess first on the next one. Our next beer is called Walking Around in Hot Porridge.
Real?
Saying that is real, Steph.
Wait, so you said the other things they're not? I think I'm trying to figure
Is
out
it a
what
beer
else.
or not a beer?
But you said the things that are not beers are something else.
Well, I will. You will find that everything in the universe will fit into the
Shut
two
the
categories,
fuck up.
either beer or not beer,
Say the name of it again.
or quantum superposition.
Like, is it a Weird
and
Al
not
song?
beer
I don't
at
know.
the same time. Walking around in hot porridge.
I mean, it's kind of. I'll just say real.
All right. After much,
You're not going to want to hear all the things that are going on in my head.
much
as I'm trying to pick an
deliberation,
answer.
Dan.
Fake.
Did you cheat again?
Says Dan and
I'm going
finally-
fake also.
Ooh. Jonathan and Dan agreeing they are both correct. Yes. That is not a beer. It is in fact a Czech saying. It's the equivalent of beating around the bush, walking around in hot porridge.
You say
I've
but
never
like,
walked
how
in
is that
porridge.
actually?
I
You're like, oh yeah, walk
Well, here's
around.
the thing. It
Yeah, I was
sounds
walking around in hot porridge one time, and I was kind of beating around the bush.
Yeah, but see, here's the thing: beating around the bush, walking around hot porridge. Like, is it any weirder than like hitting around, striking in the proximity of foliage? Is not any weirder or less
No,
weird?
it's
than
all
walking-
super
like,
weird.
It's all really,
super weird.
really
I don't
strange.
even know what you're talking about.
Beating around the bush. Striking
I got you,
around.
striking around.
In the proximity
yes.
of foliage.
Synonyms.
Yes. The Finnish and Norwegians have a similar phrase, but they take it even further. They say pacing around hot porridge like a cat.
Like a cat?
Like a cat, specifically a cat.
There must be like something in the translation that's like.
I don't know.
You don't know they're cats.
Well, I mean, maybe. But like
Or
that
their
have to be a lot of hot porridge. Like that have to be like a swimming, like a child's swimming pool of hot porridge.
Yeah.
I think a new sound clip was just
You don't
born.
know they're cats. That's the best fucking thing that's ever been
pretty
said on
good.
this podcast.
Moving on to our next name of the game, and Steph is up to guess first on this one. This one is called Mick Junkin. Mick Junkin.
Hold on, I'm writing down what she said. Mick Junkin. Can you spell it for me?
MC, capital M, lowercase c, capital J, UNKIN.
Would that be allowed? Can you use it in a sentence? I'm just gonna say real. Fuck it.
Steph is saying real on that one, Dan.
Why are you googling donkey synonym?
Don't worry about it.
You literally don't want to know.
I didn't hear what it was because I was too busy googling donkeys.
Mick Junkin.
Mick Junkin.
Mick Junkin.
Mick Junkin.
Mick Junkin.
Mick Junkin.
Mick
I don't
Junkin.
know why someone would name a beer that. It's probably fake, but whatever.
It's got to be fake.
Dan saying fake, I think. John?
I'm going real.
Going real?
Gotta be.
Gotta be real. And finally, Chris.
Real?
Saying real. John, Chris, Steph are wrong.
Fuck.
It is
Not for long.
God damn
fake.
it.
Not for long.
It is not a beer, nor is it a McDonald's secret menu item. It's just a company with a mildly humorous name.
A company?
Oh, it's a
what
real
kind
thing?
of company?
Yeah. So it's McJunkin Redman. They're a manufacturer of pipes and valves out of Charleston, West Virginia.
All right, write that down.
The name originates from Jerry McJunkin, who founded the company in 1921.
That's not a real name.
Yeah, I mean,
That's
they
his last name?
listen. They employ
Mr. McJunkin.
Mick Junkin,
get down here
No, it had to be. It was probably McYunkin when they came to the country, but they had to change it to McJunkin.
McJunkin. That's actually a very good point. They employ 3,450 people ish. No
Here
word on
come
whether
the
they're working
burgers.
from home currently. And they are number 493 on the Fortune 500.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So
That's no joke.
just eking in there. Moving on to our next beer of the game. Oh man, there's some food here. Things are about to get crazy.
Not just any food.
Yeah. Is that a Scotch egg? So I think if I'm following correctly, Dan is up to guess first on the next one.
Yes, I think so.
We got
Oh,
some
shit.
Elvis burgers at the table.
Oh shit.
Cool. All right. Before you eat your burger, tell me, is this a beer or not a beer? The next one is called Lawyers, Guns, and Money.
Okay, there's an obvious answer, but I feel like it's too obvious. So I'm gonna say real.
Dan's saying real, Jonathan. Lawyers, Guns, and Money. Is that a beer? We know it's a song.
We know it's a song.
We know it's a song, but is it also a beer? Is really the question.
Is it followed by ale?
No.
I'm gonna go fake.
All right, Chris.
Fake.
Fuck.
Fake and fuck.
Well, so I actually think it's real, but I'm trying to stay with Chris because
Don't
I don't
stay with
wanna,
me. I don't know what's
I don't want
happening.
to. I'm gonna go with my gut. I'm gonna say real.
All right, we've got split 50-50. 2 reals, 2 fakes. The reals have it.
Oh my god!
Damn it.
Steph and Dan correct.
I think I'm going to lose this.
It is a big old 10% ABV barley wine by Crazy Mountain Brewing Company in Edwards, Colorado. Says the brewery, this beer is a celebration of our anniversary as well as one of our favorite songs. We use an assortment of crystal malts and throw a little molasses into the brew kettle to give a hearty maltiness. Dry hopping with American hops gives this English style a refreshing American twist. Be cautious with this beer, as overindulgence can result in the shit hitting the fan. On their website, they also offer some very specific food pairings, such as applewood smoked bacon and blue cheese stuffed mushrooms with crispy buttery breadcrumbs, excuse me. Dark chocolate hazelnut cheesecake with toffee crumble and braised beef cheeks and a rich tomato jus served over blue cheese polenta. Only those specific
It's very
things.
specific.
That's very specific. All right, moving on to our next name of the game, and we are back around for Jonathan to go first, and this one is called Smoke from 7 Orifices.
It sounds like a metal band.
It's just terrible.
It should be a metal band. It's not a metal band, I'll tell
I'm
you
gonna
that.
go
It should
fake.
be. Saying fake. Chris,
Fake.
also saying fake.
I also
That-
think it's fake.
Ooh, fakes all around. Dan, agree or
Yeah, I'll
disagree?
agree it's fake.
Everybody's saying fake. Everybody is correct. It is fake. This is another foreign idiom. This time, like the coronavirus, from China.
There's too many orifices.
I mean, it's true. To emit smoke from 7 orifices means, as you might expect, to be especially pissed the fuck off. The 7 orifices in question are, if you're wondering, eyes, ears, nostrils, and mouth. So essentially all the holes in your head. 7. Count them. There's 7.
That's a good beer name, actually.
I know, right?
Now that I
That's
think
right.
about
That
it.
one
down
you could
too.
probably use.
Can you make a Roush beer?
That is not a company name.
When
so you
will
could
you be
probably use it.
releasing this podcast?
2 weeks from today. So you better act
Not,
fast.
not enough time.
Better act fast.
You can't lager a Roush beer in 2 weeks.
That's very true. Moving on.
Coming
and
soon to
Coming
Stolen
soon,
Sun.
that's right.
Breaking news.
Chris is going to guess first on this one. Our next name is the Board of Tea Appeals. As in a spot of tea. The Board of Tea Appeals.
I'm going with real.
Saying real, Steph.
Right now, I'm just playing to not lose. I'm going to say real.
All right, also saying real, Dan.
I think real.
Oh, saying real, and finally John.
I'm going real.
Oh, everybody's saying real. Everybody's wrong. So nothing really changes. Not real. But until 1996, when it got the budget axe, the Board of Tea Appeals was a for real U.S. government agency. Founded in 1897, the board was made up of, quote, 7 members, each of whom shall be an expert in teas, who were devoted to ensuring the adherence to the standard that Americans drink only tea of purity and wholesomeness. The elite board members would sample imported teas before they were deemed worthy of sale to the masses. Actual government
And when was this
agency.
started? 1890s?
1897. It was abolished in 1996.
Fairly
Wow.
recently.
Yeah.
You know, I believe there's a board that kind of sits on the commodity exchange with coffee as well that does something similar.
That makes sense. But I think a lot of that is now just under the control of the FDA. I mean, there might be a coffee,
The teas?
a special. Well, it is the tea because that was done away with.
Yeah.
No longer a thing. So the FDA handles that now. And really all they're concerned about is whether it's going to kill you, not if it's good. Moving on to our penultimate beer of the game, which means Steph guesses first. And this beer is called Dates, Sugar, yeast magic.
I love that so much. I'm going to say real.
Saying that is real, Dan.
What do you say, fake?
Saying fake.
Sounds real.
Sounds real. And finally, Chris.
Real.
Oh, 3 reals, 1 fake. The reals are correct. It is real. This is an extinct beer. They don't make it anymore. It debuted in 2013. The obviously Red Hot Chili Peppers homage was a Belgian double by Pipeworks Brewing Company in
course.
Chicago.
Oh, I want to see the artwork.
It was made with Medjool dates. I don't know what that is. A variety of date, apparently. And was a collaboration with Chicago executive chef Cletus Friedman of the restaurant and bar Fountainhead. Their description, I'm sure someone was very, very proud of this.
Cletus.
Cletus. The description of the beer reads as follows. What we've got, you will definitely want to get and put it in you. This beer will take you to the place you love, take you all the way, and make it difficult to give it away, even to your mama, your papa, or your daughter.
Oh, boy.
The artwork is amazing.
Is this? They did this with the Red Hot Chili Peppers?
No, they just...
Oh,
no.
wow.
The Red Hot Chili Peppers were not involved in any way. Cletus was,
Cletus.
and a lot of Medjool dates.
Cletus, the slackjaw yokel?
Cletus, no,
Yokel never lose
no.
a toe.
Cletus, the executive chef, actually. So we have one more name left in this game that has gone on for quite a while, for which I apologize. So we're going to add up the scores real quick and see who is in danger of being punished and who is safe. So, with 5 points so far, no one will be surprised to hear is Dan, sitting pretty at the top. Tied right behind him with 4 points each, John and Steph. And dangerously close to having to drink something gross is Chris with only 3 points.
I knew it.
So since you're at the bottom, we're going to let you guess last on this one.
That
so
doesn't
you
help
can
me. I
hear
want other
everyone-
opinions.
Hear everyone else's guess. If you get this right and everyone else gets it wrong, you, Jonathan, and Steph will all be punished together.
I'm going with what you guys
So that's the only thing that you can hope for. So our final beer of the game, and we're going to have Steph guess first on this one, is called Why Can't I Be You?
Real.
Saying that is real. Dan?
Real.
Also real? John?
It's real.
Saying real? Finally, Chris?
Well, I'm just going to go fake, because if I go real, I'm still screwed.
Can I get bonus points if I know the brewery?
It's real. You're screwed.
Yeah, sure.
It's
We knew that
a
was
hazy
gonna
IPA
happen.
from the Vale.
Stillwater. Artisanal.
No, it's the
Just got to
Vale.
drink for that.
I will prove it.
My research shows
I will show you.
it came
I've
out in
had that beer.
2013 from Stillwater Artisanal Ales. Well, they stole the name. I don't want to be you. That's not what I said.
Well, it's a whole line of them. They have a whole line of beers in that vein. I should still get a bonus point.
Maybe.
I mean, it doesn't matter. You are not getting punished.
I know. I'm very happy about that.
All right.
Chris should get a bonus point for Steph being wrong.
So that gives
I agree.
Steph 6 and Dan 6, John 5, and Chris 2. Or 3.
Can you give John? Can you give John a bonus point too? So we have a
so
German
pathetic.
sparkle party, a
John gets
666
a
German
bonus
sparkle party.
Oh, 666. Just for fun, I actually counted wrong. I do have one more.
Oh, shit.
So this one's called Ass Compact. Anyone? It doesn't matter at this point.
Love it.
Fake.
Should be real.
Should be real.
Is that a category?
I
Sure.
hope it's fake.
Hope it's fake.
Fake.
Fake. We're not even going to bother with points. It's fake. It's not real, but it is the name of an actual company.
What?
Yeah. This one has a far more humorous name than McJunkin, if a little juvenile. It comes from Germany. Ass Compact is a specialist magazine for capital and risk management.
Yeah.
Obviously.
How does that even
Yeah,
make
that's
sense?
the specialty magazine.
Obviously.
Is that a translation or an
Yeah,
actual?
I have no idea. They have a website and everything. AskCompact.de. Check it out.
Not .com.
So we're not counting
Don't
that one.
go to that.
Because I forgot about it. So, because we're playing fast and loose, with the scores at this point. We do have, in fact, a German Sparkle Party.
I like German sparkle parties.
Tied at the top with 666. Jonathan, Steph, and Dan with only 3 points. We'll give you 4 because you did say fake on the last one. Is Chris
We're just throwing around points.
getting
Yeah,
punished?
whatever.
This is yeah. None of this is official. None of this matters. It's like a scrimmage game. So there will be some sort of punishment. So you go to patreon.com/beerbusters to be able to watch that whenever I get around to editing it and posting it. Also, if you contribute on patreon.com/beerbusters at a significantly generous level, you get your name read out on the podcast, just like the following individuals: James Lamberg,
He wants to get super drunk so he can tackle the dump.
Joe Mansell,
I like squealers.
Jill Chivers,
Gonna go back in time.
Sean Sullivan,
It's got a hair at done.
PA Brew Review,
You're useless.
Mark Modugno,
Loved it.
Topher Simmons,
And don't try it, motherfuckers.
don't try it, Poor Man's Brewing Company,
Filled with yummy goodness.
Kathy Obashevsky,
It was the most amazing thing in my life.
Eric Dixon,
So sticky.
sorry Eric, Nate Falkman,
As soon as you put it in your mouth, you totally get the banana.
totally, Brian Mills,
Shut up, Wesley.
Wolfgang Von Colt,
It's drugs.
Jen McDonald,
I love how big it is.
yeah Jen, Marilyn Engelman,
Gonna go back in
Really?
time.
No,
Fuck.
do
I
over.
failed.
things at
I
this
failed. I failed. There's too much stress.
where were we? Josh Price, is that what I said?
Bullshit.
That is bullshit. Ron McDonald. And Victoria Miles.
Hit a damn button.
Come on, Barbie. Let's go party.
Hey, Wayne. Hey, Wayne.
I had a fucking plan and it just got ruined.
It just fell apart.
Because I did two with the same.
If you want to find out how you can get on this esteemed list, as well
God
as
damn
all
it.
the other cool perks, as previously mentioned, go to beerbusters. No. You can go there. Go to beerbusters.com. Beerbusterspodcast.com. Don't go to beerbusters.com because we don't own that. Go to patreon.com/beerbusters.
Oh my god.
Dan,
We fucked that whole thing up. Can
save
you pay
us.
the tab already?
Save us from ourselves with some advertisements.
I got a burger to eat.
Yeah, let's eat a fucking burger.
Say, Yvonne, remember when I said I'd have to send away to NASA to calculate your bar tab?
Oh, yeah. We all had a good laugh, Mo.
The results came back today. You owe me $70 billion.
Hey guys, we'd like to tell you about Casper mattresses. Now, if you listen to podcasts, you've probably heard of Casper, but if you haven't, let me tell you a little bit about it. Casper is an online retailer of premium mattresses for a fraction of the price of what you'll pay at the big box stores. Nothing is more important than a good night's sleep, except maybe a glass of good beer. Casper mattresses are obsessively engineered mattresses at shockingly fair prices. They have just the right sink, just the right bounce, with two technologies, latex foam and memory foam, coming together for a life well slept. You can try Casper risk-free for 100 days with free shipping and painless returns. If you want to try Casper, you can get $50 towards any mattress purchase by visiting CasperTrial.com/beerbusters and use the promo code 50SLEEP. Start sleeping better today by visiting CasperTrial.com/beerbusters and entering the promo code 50SLEEP. Terms and conditions do apply.
So during this brief interlude, while other members of the assembly go to the bathroom, Dan and I are eating this Elvis burger, and it is incredible.
It's great.
It's really good.
When I went to Canada in 2018, I jokingly put peanut butter on a hot dog for one of the girls that was really drunk and it's like, I want food. And then I remembered that peanut butter goes well on burgers, and nobody believed me. And joke's on them because this is fucking
Joke's
great.
on them. That's right.
It is. It's like things that you think, like, that sounds weird. But it's really good. It's the peanut butter that really does it. I mean, the bananas are nice. But peanut butter and beef.
Well, it's got like peanut butter's oil, right? So
Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
like, and peanuts, like, who doesn't like peanuts?
A bit cold
Start
read.
that burger down.
I can eat food.
It's really good.
Good work with
It's
that.
really good.
All right, you ready?
Also, this is the cure. Nobody knows it yet.
Yeah, right. We're now immune.
No, your beers. No, your beers.
I don't know what's happening anymore.
So I was just, this just in. I was just handed this bulletin. So I'm going to read it. Grain. the lifeblood of beer.
No, see, you can't just read it word for word. That's just the information.
Yeah, but I haven't read it at all.
Wingman had a really good idea because I texted him and I'm like, what the fuck should I talk about? Because we've talked about everything on Know Your Beer. And he's like, well, what about malts? So I was like, that's a really fucking good idea. So I put together an overview of the different kinds of malts that brewers typically use in beers. And then if we want to dive more closely into some of those malts in a future episode, perhaps we can do that. So here is an overview of malts.
Grain, the lifeblood of beer. Very good introduction. While barley is most common, the category of, quote, grain is as wide as it is intricate.
Are you going to read the whole page?
I mean, that's what she gave me. It's not that long, really. It's a pretty big font. What is malt? Baby, don't hurt. Excuse me. Malt is grain that has been converted into sugar. The sugar is consumed by yeast to create alcohol, a process called fermentation. Grain becomes malt, which becomes beer. Base malts make up the majority of the grist in beer, and their variety is, frankly, astounding. Named based on the formation of corns on the barley stalk, 2-row versus 6-row, the variety, as in Maris Otter, Golden Promise, etc., or the region in which it was grown or malted. Barley malts include pale malt, Pilsner malt, Vienna malt, Munich malt, mild ale malts, and more. Non-barley-based malts like wheat malt and rye malt also exist. High-kilned malts are responsible for the dark, malty lagers of Europe and have also found a home in some ales because of their unique character. Munich and Vienna malts are the prime examples of those things. American base malt is generally mild and fairly neutral, unlike Americans. British malts tend to be maltier, bready, and biscuit-like. The European climate gives malts made from continental barley a clean, elegant character. Pilsner malt has a soft, delicate maltiness that practically defines pale lagers. Quote, high-kilned, heated to a higher temperature at the end of the malting process, malts offer a more toasty, malty flavor than you get from lighter base malts. Crystal malts are steepable, able to be steeped, and generally used to add sweetness and color to brews. They're usually named based on color. As a general rule, the lighter colored crystal malts are more sweet, while darker crystal malts add a roastiness or nuttiness in addition to the sweetness. On the extreme light end sit dextrin malts. They also add dextrins, which bring body and a thicker mouthfeel, but broadly speaking, anything labeled crystal, caramel, or cara something are crystal malts. Adjuncts are unmalted. Starchy things like flaked barley and flaked oats, maize, torrefied wheat, rice, etc. Kilned and toasted malts include malts such as biscuit, amber, special roast, and aromatic malts, usually used in low qualities to contribute a unique flavor. You should. This is good stuff.
I'm not listening.
Biscuit malt contributes a light, saltine, cracker-like flavor, while aromatic malt is deeper and maltier. Brown and amber malt are similarly toasted, but brown is darker and more toasty or bready, and amber has less of a pretzel-like flavor. Victory malt is another light option that sits between biscuit and amber with characteristics of both. Special roast is fairly unique and will impart a slightly darker reddish color and has a fairly strong, tangy, berry deep flavor. Roasted malts are any malts or grains that are roasted to a very high degree. Dark, deep, bready, and delicious. They add a lot of complexity and color in very low quantities. The three most common varieties are black malt, sometimes called black patent malt, chocolate malt, and roasted barley. Some malts do not come from barley, such as oats, rye, wheat, etc. These malts are essentially processed like and can be treated as the barley cousins. The difference is in how they are crushed. Wheat malt can be crushed at the same setting as barley malt, but you will want to test before running a whole batch's worth of rye malt or oat malt through the mill. Also, as we have previously learned on the podcast, there are grains that naturally do not contain gluten, which can be used in place of the traditional malts to create delicious gluten-free beers.
I gave you a C+.
That's fake.
I ad-libbed.
Oh, sorry.
Fake news.
Fake news.
Fake news? What, that there's such a thing as a delicious gluten-free beer? Maybe. Actually, no, I was referring to, there's a brewery in Colorado called Holiday. that was founded by a woman that had cancer and went through treatment and was told she had to cut gluten out of her diet and was really into beer and was like super upset. So she founded this brewery that was like 100% gluten free, and she uses like millet and farro, like malts that just don't have gluten in them. And we interviewed her on the phone. Really cool, really nice to talk to. And then later she actually sent us some beers in the mail. And we tried them, and a lot of them were really good.
Yeah,
I enjoyed them. Surprisingly, because I have had really shitty, like gluten-free beer.
Very much so.
It's a tough thing to do. I mean, if you love beer and that sucks, that you can't. Like, it's great to have some options.
Right.
Yeah.
I had a. What was it? It was the alcohol-free beer.
So Athletic Brewing.
Yes, and it was actually. I mean, it wasn't terrible.
Huh.
Yeah, they were at the Kennan. First time I had it.
Yeah, I have not had that.
Alcohol free and like pretty good. Oh no, 4-pack.
Oh, 4-pack.
Yeah, sorry.
Don't take that away, though.
Oh man,
4-pack, 4 ounces.
We all get to share this one. This is the death beer. Enjoy. Who wants to drink first?
Oh boy.
It should be the winner of the contest. Gets to drink
right.
first. And we should go like and
yeah,
that
I drink
should be the
first, and then
real-
everyone else drinks.
That should be the
next.
real like winner loser. Like the loser's the last one to drink from the cup.
The loser gets.
That's too real. Yeah. The stakes are too high.
You've gone too far.
I mean, we might as well play Russian roulette. You know, you mentioned alcohol-free beer, and I wonder because, like, when I think of that sort of like,
I think it's a terrible idea. Number one.
I do too.
I actually don't.
But here's the thing, though, when you hear that, or you hear like mocktails, like that could be fun, like whatever. But the idea of like creating something that would normally have alcohol, but a non-alcohol version of it, your first instinct is like, it's not as good. Is it because obviously alcohol has flavor, but do you think like if you're being completely honest, is it because you just want to drink something that not only tastes good but gets you buzzed, or do you think that alcohol actually has it makes a significant contribution to the flavor profile of a drink?
It's the malt you were just talking about.
Right, but I mean, could you make could you make a beer that tasted just as good as a beer that's really good? It's a weird turn of phrase, but you know what I mean. That had no alcohol in it. I'm just rambling now.
I mean, no.
No. But that's what I mean. Like, does alcohol legitimately contribute flavor, or do you just want something that has alcohol because of the intoxicating effects?
I mean, I think it's the whole combination of all the ingredients. I don't think you can really do without one of them.
Right.
But what if you have to do without one of them?
Well, and then in which case it's great. Like I would if I was.
Literally, the 6 months I was on blood thinners
If
I
I
could not drink beer was like the worst 6 months ever. It
well,
fucking
so
sucked.
it may be a great product for
Yeah.
you. If
The
I was,
illusion of
if I
I'm
was
drinking
an
beer.
alcoholic, well, okay, let me rephrase that. If I was a recovering alcoholic, it would be nice. But I guess would I really want to be drinking something that tastes like alcohol if I was an alcoholic? I don't know. Or would it make me go right off the?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't smoke cigarettes that don't have nicotine.
Right.
I'd be just back to smoking cigarettes.
And I often wonder that because we talk a lot about the nuances and the flavor of beer, but like ultimately we all started drinking beer because we wanted to get drunk. And like, yes, we've evolved and now we appreciate I guess it's fermentation really, because it's like, there's cheese and like sourdough
Absolutely.
bread and that
Yeah.
sort of thing. So, but I just wonder how much is the actual alcohol contributing to that sort of flavor versus intoxication?
I don't know if it's also
quality.
the alcohol, but it's probably the components that go into. If you're making non-alcoholic beer,
Right.
you're not. I mean, if you were
It's
putting
still missing that
if you were
certain
putting in
something
all that
flavor-wise.
malt without fermenting it, you would have Malta
Yeah.
with hops in it,
Yeah.
which would be kind of disgusting.
Yeah, that would be
Well,
disgusting.
I don't think I know the process of how non-alcoholic beers are made.
I don't.
Do they just use?
I
Is
have
it
no
just?
idea.
It's not worth figuring out.
I mean, I had theories, but
No. What are your theories? I'm curious.
No, it's not worth it. It's fine. No, I was just curious. Are you creating a wort that has very few residual sugars in? So because non-alcoholic beer is not zero alcohol beer. There is a teeny
There
bit
is
of
a bit,
alcohol in
yeah.
Like, are you just creating a wort that has so few I don't know why I'm looking at him. So few residual sugars.
ask the brewer.
I don't know.
There's
I've never
not
made.
much for the yeast to.
I think they make.
Or is it like? Well, how do they
I
make
think they
decaf
make the
coffee?
alcohol like. Okay,
That's
well
what-
that's
yeah.
a different. That's completely different.
Is that can we compare though? Can
I-
we make a theory based on how that?
No, it's. I think they have to distill, in some way. the
They would
beer.
have to somehow get the
I don't know. We're
like,
just gonna like
alcohol
make
out of-
shit
like-
up and put it on the air.
Yeah,
I mean,
let's-
it's not
Is what
like
we should do. We should just
whatever.
create complete fake
Well, there's
news. like,
Budweiser where
I
they
think it
make a
gets sent up into a rocket
7.8%
ship.
beer and water it down.
and the alcohol comes out in
the
space.
aliens, the actual aliens drink
Wait,
it,
non-alcoholic beer
digest
is
and
made
it,
in
then
space.
pull it out.
it's sent back to Earth,
Yeah.
and there's.
I think they distill it in a way, maybe, and they pull the alcohol out.
Because I have specifically been asked to make a non-alcoholic beer as
Really?
a cutoff beer for the
really?
people who get too drunk.
No,
and
and that's what I was
still
thinking.
need beer.
Because you get to the point where you have a really good buzz, but you don't want to stop drinking. I
Yeah,
would
well, this
switch
has
to a
been like an
non-alcoholic beer.
incognito beer.
That's
like,
when you
hey,
need
I
baby
need a
juice.
beer,
Yeah.
and the
Here's
bartender
the
goes,
beer.
"Yeah, here's your beer."
Wink, wink.
And it's
That's
really
what baby
not.
juices is for.
There's actually no alcohol in it.
So does anyone want to drink donut beer?
Yes.
I'm in.
Yeah,
I'm
who wants a
gonna-
donut
I'm
in their
gonna
beer?
do
Donuts,
Yes.
drink this beer.
Yeah, hold on.
No, we didn't.
Round 2, fight.
I want donuts.
Oh, she's pregnant. That's why.
Oh, that's
That
it.
makes sense.
That sucks.
I agree.
That was funnier than the cat thing. So what are we drinking? A donut
So this
beer?
is Quack of Dawn. It's a collaboration we did with Duck Donuts. With their French toast.
French toast donut.
French
One
toast
of their
donuts.
biggest selling staple donuts is their French toast donut.
I mean, it's maple syrup is like
Yes.
what I really get out of it.
They
yeah.
have a maple syrup dressing that they put on there, and in the
it
fondant
maple syrup?
that we discussed earlier.
Fondant.
The fondant.
Is it a maple syrup dressing just maple syrup?
Yep. You dress everything. With
Well,
that.
I mean, there's a lot of sugar and
So much sugar.
yeah, a lot of sugar.
A lot of
sugar.
donuts went into this beer, into the beer, and into the brewer.
And into us, yeah. It was a lot of donuts for like a while.
A lot of donuts.
A lot of donuts for a while.
So now this is the kind of beer that like, and no offense, I don't like. I like
I'm
it.
offended.
Well,
If you
strap
say
in.
no offense, usually it means
I'm
you're
not a
gonna really
racist,
offend me.
but
Yeah.
no. Like I would enjoy like this taster of it, but I feel like that's enough.
Yeah.
Because like it's just too sweet. Like
I don't
feel like
disagree.
a whole like pint or can of it would be
It's
a
a
bit
lot.
much.
It's
Yeah.
very sweet.
It's early, like the pastry stout kind of thing. Like they're fun to try, but it's not like a beer that you want to like drink a whole beer.
Surprisingly, there's people that kick them
Oh,
back,
there's a ton of people
which
that
is,
love them.
I don't
Yeah.
disagree with you.
Yeah.
If I drink beer, it's Uncle John's or Baby Juices. But yeah,
Yeah.
but it tastes like French toast donuts.
Yeah. Oh, and that's
It
the
really
thing. Like a
does.
lot of people turn up their noses at this, like, oh, it's a pastry stout. It's but they're fun and they're like, it tastes good. I mean, it tastes like a maple syrup beer. Like, it
Super
tastes nice.
clean.
Yeah.
Easy
But
to
yeah,
drink.
it's just something you want to taste and not like, for me, have like a whole full pour of.
Well, thanks a lot.
Sorry. I mean,
I could probably kill a full one of these.
yeah, you could.
Yeah, you could.
I mean, if I'm being honest, like, if like we were like at this point right now, if that was the only beer left, I'd probably
The
just kill it.
coronavirus killed all the brewers.
I would just kill
And
it.
this was the last beer on the earth.
Yeah. No,
Right
but I mean,
here.
if like I was like if I was catching
You're
a buzz
like,
and I didn't
Quack
want to
of
stop
Dawn,
drinking,
why? No!
last beer on earth.
You animals.
I'd want my
Filthy
last beer
animal.
to be a Pilsner.
That's not what I meant.
Boo.
But now you went there. We went there.
He went there.
We went there.
Your last beer, Desert Island beer.
Desert Island
We've
beer
had
would
this
100%
conversation
be
before.
Pilsners.
Gun to your head.
We haven't done that in a long time.
That's been a long time. Ugh. It's been a long time since we pulled
Yeah, I was gonna
firearms
say,
on each
I
other.
left the gun at home.
Yeah.
Metaphorically speaking, obviously.
I like this. I think it's great. It's
This is a
delicious.
Dan beer.
It's definitely a Dan
It's better
beer.
than that goddamn coffee we were talking. Not your coffee. The
Oh yeah, the
weird
the
maple
shitty
bacon.
grocery
The,
store.
the
With
Kobe,
the flavor
Kobe Luwak.
crystals.
the
Is it
Kopi
the Kopi
Luwak. We
Luwak?
talked about that the first time we were
did.
here.
That stuff's-
I remember that.
It's great.
It's all hype.
We're doing an interesting coffee for the Foodery.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we're actually taking green beans and injecting them with fermenting wort.
I had to remind myself that means something different when you're talking
Yes.
about
Not the Jolly Green
in
Giant.
my head.
We take green beans, inject them with fermenting wort and some hops, and then we roast them. And it's like a beer-injected coffee. And they only serve it at Foodery.
That sounds really
It's their
good.
house beer.
Yeah.
Or house coffee.
Coffee.
all
sorry.
the
Coffee.
Fooderies?
House coffee, yes.
All their locations?
I think. I mean, I know it's in Phoenixville.
Yeah.
And I think they were putting it at their other ones as well.
That's pretty
Is that the
awesome.
same foodery that's in Center City, Philly?
Yes.
There are Fooderies in
There's a
Center
couple
City,
of them.
Philly.
Because I somehow along the way I thought there were two different foodery companies, and it always confused me.
I don't think so.
Well, I don't know that the one on Sansom Street is part of that.
That's the thing.
Yeah. I don't know. I've always been confused by that as well. But we went to one.
That's not the one we went to, right?
No.
Yeah.
So the year we went Philly Beer Week where we did the Varga Bar, the
Right,
pinup
yeah.
thing, and
Yeah.
we went. That's a legit Foodery, and then the one across from Standard Tap in Northeast Philly,
Right.
near Blackbird's second location.
Right.
That's a Foodery for you
I think
in
that
Phoenixville.
they definitely have a couple
Mhm.
Center City
Yeah.
locations, I believe.
I'm just not sure that the one.
But
on
the
Sansom
coffee's
Street is part
amazing.
of
The
them.
coffee has a great, almost like natural coffee, like fermentation flavor to it. Super interesting.
That sounds
A
great.
lot of layers.
That sounds really
Sounds
good.
really good. Is that like Ray's Pizza? In like New York City, there's like 800 Ray's
Oh,
pizzas,
yeah.
and they're all different companies.
Yeah. So, Chris, you're part of the Pink Boot Society, right?
I am, yes.
Do you want to talk about? Well, there's a lot of stuff going on this month with it being whatever they call this, International
it's
Women's
Ladies
Month
or whatever. Yeah.
Don't be so excited about it.
It just sounds weird. Like, yeah. So, Pink Boot Society for women in beer, mostly geared towards advancing women in their beer careers through education. And we just hosted a collaboration brew on the 8th on the official International Women's Day with the University of Sciences, my alma mater, with the former and current women who went through the program or going through the program right now, and made a beer with them on Sunday to be released in a couple weeks. But they do this really awesome thing where they put together at CBC, the women of Pink Boots come together and put together the proprietary hop blend for PBS that they released to everybody. This year's blend, I know I'm gonna miss something, but it was like Azaka, Laurel, Idaho 7, El Dorado. So it's like this really.
Mosaic.
I don't think there was any mosaic. But it was all this like really citrusy, like fruit forward, aggressive hop blend that they had put together that Yakima Chief sells, or YCH sells, and part of their proceeds go towards the Pink Boot Society to raise money for scholarships. So we used that blend in our beer to make, it's about like a 5.7, 5.8% ABV. We made just, a hazy, juicy IPA. That's what the hops sort of lended themselves towards. They were very citrusy and very hop forward, so it was kind of hard to do anything like another style with that. But of course, that's very popular style. But we had all the women there here from the U Sciences program to make that beer on International Women's Day, and just raising money for those scholarships for women to go to school and advance their careers in the brewing world. It was just really nice to give back to sort of the program that helped get me into this industry, and I had a lot of people help me along the way to get me into this, to be able to turn around and help the next people in line to get them into it and give some money back to these scholarships and this organization that just helping promote women and diversity in this beer world.
Very cool. Pink Boots.
Is there a name for the beer?
It is called No Richards, as was named by our other owner, Deirdre, Jonathan's wife. She got super into Brew Day and wanted to come up with the name, so she called it No Richards.
That's fabulous.
So that will be here in a few weeks.
I love it. Will it be draft only?
Yeah, draft only.
That's if we're not all dead in a couple of weeks.
Well, right.
If we're alive.
I just need to make a disclaimer. If we are alive. this
No
will happen.
Richards cures coronavirus.
There you go.
You heard it here.
I love it. That's fabulous. I love all the collaborations that have been going on, specifically in the Philly area. There's so many women that are involved and part of Pink Boots, and lots of great beers coming from it as well.
Yeah, it's just nice to see the diversity in the industry. This is one of the few industries I've worked in. Like, beer is not my first job, and this is one of the few industries I've worked in where everyone really just wants to promote diversity and wants more people in this industry, and it's really nice to have all that support and backing and be able to do it and host it in the brewery where I work and be able to bring these women in and just host a collaboration brew day with them.
That's really cool. You know, there is sort of a not undeserved reputation of craft beer being like a middle-aged white guy thing.
It's a white guy with a beard is what it is. As I'm
cargo
looking
shorts
at you.
and plaid pants.
As I'm looking right at you.
I know.
But it's like, it's
but
not
it is also
unwelcoming is the thing.
Like, and that's the thing. A lot of places that we've gone to are very much about promoting diversity, whether it's women, whether it's people of color and minorities getting involved, and people of all different backgrounds getting involved in beer. It's definitely very open, and I think it's changing and has changed a lot in the last couple of years.
Yeah, it's the only industry I've worked in where everyone is like, we just want everyone here. We don't care who you are, what you look like, where you're from. We just want you here, and come drink good beer.
Speaking of drinking good beer.
Yeah, Steph was freaking out over this bottle.
I'm excited to drink it.
It's not a bad thing that you were and are. So what is beer tucking?
Well, we've come to the end of the show, and this is where we drink the Imperial Stout.
Is this the end?
I mean, I feel like how many more beers are there?
We got like 12 more beers.
We got a lot of beer.
Well, I mean, we also have a punishment and last call to do.
True.
So, I mean, the end of the episode isn't really the end of the episode. So tell us a little bit about Beer Duckin'.
Beer Duckin'. It is coffee that was aged in bourbon barrels that was then put into a beer, much like a duck is put into a chicken that's put into a turkey. I don't know if that's the right progression.
Does the chicken go in the duck?
I don't.
And then the duck in the turkey?
Is a duck bigger than a chicken?
I don't know. That's what I'm trying to
than a
figure out
duck?
in my head.
It's a bird and a bird and a bird.
I'm not real sure on my bird sizes, but it's something like that where the coffee went into the bourbon barrel that went into the beer. So it's an imperial stout where all of that happened, but no birds were involved. No birds were harmed.
No birds were harmed in the making.
No birds were
No
harmed.
birds were harmed in the making of this episode.
Confirm nor deny if
knew?
birds were harmed in the making of this.
No birds were involved.
No birds were harmed in the making of this beer, but we did put some coffee and some bourbon barrels in some beer, and it turns out pretty awesome.
It's delicious. It's all the great things about all those.
It's a bourbon barrel from Brandywine Branch Distillers, their custom cask, and then we put some Burundi coffee for like 6 months into the barrel.
Well, now, here's a question: when you do like a coffee stout or an imperial stout, or like this big dark kind of beer that sort of lends itself to coffee, I think in my mind it lends itself specifically to a darker roast coffee. Is that true, or am I being wrong?
I think you're just thinking of the roasty characters. Of, like all the coffees that we put into our beers are medium to medium light roast.
Right. So it's not necessarily.
You want the sweetness. I want the sweetness. I want the fruitiness.
Otherwise, you're going to accent that sort of a stringency.
Yeah, I mean, we have roasted
like
malt for days that is cheap.
Yeah.
Like compared to the coffee that we put into it. So I want the coffee to stand out and be.
And sort of counterbalance that.
Absolutely.
That roasty. Yeah.
Just get the flavors from the coffee that you can't get from malt.
Right.
You can get the roasty flavor from the malt.
So, yeah, that makes sense.
But you can totally get the vanilla, the bourbon. Like this beer, love it. Like
it's really
just
nice.
Super drinkable, super sweet.
It's
nice
very
balance.
Yeah, it's layered, it's complex, but it's balanced. Nothing overpowers.
And it's not like blaring alcohol
No.
that there's bourbon in it, but
Yeah,
you can
it's
totally
not-
get the bourbon.
You get the
not very
flavor, I would
booze.
say, more than the heat.
What is the? I'm looking for the ABV.
Yeah, I was afraid to ask.
400%.
Oh, 400% alcohol. That is not physically possible.
Well,
It doesn't say on the bottle.
10 something.
Is it 10 something?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like 10.8.
We'll take water, but
So it's
ish.
nearly 11.
You know, estimate.
As we say that this beer is
Have
11%.
Owen
so
make
we'll-
2 crafts
We'll take
of
water.
the barrel aged coffee.
Yes, please.
Oh, yeah.
That sounds wonderful.
Yes, please.
So we put this one out for Thanksgiving.
Makes sense.
Yes. So I think like hopefully every Thanksgiving we'll try to do a new barrel aged coffee Imperial Stout.
Right.
And it's a cool label.
Without harming any birds. It is a really cool label.
The
It has
label,
that.
You know what's really cool? So I have this artist, Corey Danks, in Philadelphia. He helped us kind of get our logo to where it is today. And then, like, honestly, at this point, I have a quick conversation with Corey, and he just gets me these amazing labels. Like, it's so great. Like, I don't have a huge firm behind us. Like, we literally, it's like a quick conversation. And he's killing it with our labels. And this was like another great example. Like, I was like, oh, it's, you know, it's a Russian Imperial Stout. And he was like, he put these nesting dolls, and these are like the same like little hop characters that we have, kind of similar to our Stolen Sun. Like, it's amazing stuff I would never think about. He puts together some great,
and it's cohesive too, which is
It
like
is.
super important.
It's
like you look at
amazing.
all these labels and like they
I'm
belong
like,
together.
I'm
They belong
always
to the same
amazed
brand.
with the work that he does to really think about like how do we like keep this brand, because he could do whatever he wants. Like, I don't really have a lot of input per se. And
well, that's super important to have that sort of, and I think having a specific artist, like this is the artist who does your labels, lends itself to then obviously they're all going to have a similar style.
Absolutely.
And that's really important. But all have a similar style, but still be like unique in and of themselves and cool and interesting. Each individual one, which is really cool. I always really like Bart's designs for Stickman. That whole like the notebook
Simplistic,
paper and the,
it's genius.
The stick
It's
figure,
actually
like,
a genius
it really
idea.
Is. Yeah.
As far as like, but it's amazing like where they were a couple years ago to where they are today, because the labels now are like super like the
detailed and involved.
The collab we did with them, the Better Than Socks, the Hanukkah beer.
It's
Like,
such a fun label.
it was awesome. It had like all kinds of crazy like menorahs and dreidels, and it was awesome. It wasn't just like a simple label. It was a super complex label.
Somebody of the TTB hates them because they have to go through every detail and make sure there's nothing on there. Because it was in Neshaminy Creek with the banana for their Hefeweizen, right? There was a banana on it, and
But
they were
there's
like,
no
"There's no
actual
banana
banana
in
in
this
the
beer.
beer.
You can't put a banana on the label." And it's like,
But a Hefe yeast makes banana esters, whatever.
Yeah.
Well, Bart,
it's
we've
weird
had
shit like
in-depth
that.
conversations with Bart about all of the changes that he's had to make for
Yeah.
Stickman.
There was like dudes smoking joints. They made him take off.
Well, some things were obvious like that, but other things were.
This is really cool. I had to look up the label. This
That
is
is
awesome.
one of the busier
Oh my God.
This
Stickman
is so
labels.
cool.
Yeah, that is really
yeah,
cool.
it was a fun beer to do.
You know what you could do? You could make a wrapping paper.
We have a
pattern,
lot of
like-
labels.
Like if as long as it like tiles and tile and repeat, you could make Christmas / Hanukkah wrapping paper.
We're gonna do my atheist beer next year.
Yeah.
I approve. The Festivus.
A Festivus beer.
Of course.
So we're gonna get some
Barrel aged coffee.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Gustavo de Jesus Rivera, I have a farm in Colombia that we buy coffee from, or since we've been open every year. So we took some of this coffee, we put it into a Brandywine branch. We do a lot of stuff with them.
Yeah.
It had red wine, and then it had their Solstice gin in it
Oh,
as
really?
well. So it's super interesting. And it's been in there for about 4 months now, maybe 5 months.
Red wine and gin.
So I just
I'm
roasted
excited.
it like
What-
3 days ago. Hey, you want to try some Uncle John's beer?
Sure.
Yeah, let's do Uncle John's.
Yeah, grab one of those. So this is number 11 here. Chris knows what's in here.
So it's a classic West Coast style IPA with all the C hops. So all of our
Cascade.
Uncle John,
Is
yeah.
Citra an
Centennial,
actual like?
It
C
starts
hop?
with a C.
Yeah, I know.
We
It does-
We do Cascade, Chinook, and Centennial, and then we sort of rotate the other hops that are in there. So this particular iteration of Uncle John's features Citra and Comet, which technically, start with a C, even though they're not classic C hops. But we always start with that foundation of those C hops and that classic, bitterness, sweet maltiness character to it, and
The
then
shit the boys
mix
can't
up.
handle
Yeah,
anymore.
exactly. And then play with the other hops in there. So this is those classic C hops with the Citra and Comet new hops.
I like that this is like an old school
It's great.
IPA. Like,
Yeah.
This is like
It's bitter.
yeah. It's
There's
bitter.
bitterness.
It's got that
It's
malt
clear.
backbone everybody
Hold
used
it
to
up
talk
to the
about.
light. Hold it
yeah,
up to the
and you
light.
can see through it.
We boil hops for 90 minutes. in
90
this.
whole
man.
minutes.
Wait, people still do that?
Yeah.
Imagine the patience.
I
that
know,
Chris
right?
has.
It's great.
It is really nice. It's so good.
Super clean, citrusy.
Oh, that smell.
Yeah.
I can't remember the last time I smelled that.
They don't make them like this
Same.
anymore.
Save that. That's a great clip.
Yeah, isolate that one.
Isolate that.
That's fucking good.
It is
That's
really
the IPA that I miss drinking.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you don't need to miss it anymore because
It's here.
It's right
True.
here.
It's right here in front of you.
I'm literally
Real.
drinking it right now. Too
That's
bad.
the tagline. The IPA you don't have to miss anymore.
Yeah, that's right.
and Gratefully Dead themed.
Of course.
Yes.
Even
We haven't
better.
even brought that up yet this episode.
What, the Grateful Dead?
Yeah.
I guess we haven't.
Yeah, now we have.
Boom. There it is.
Done. Segue.
That's literally the only words to that
That's
song
it.
I know.
That's it. That's all you need to know.
I only know the Buffett cover.
Oh boy.
Wow.
Wow, I think you just got fired.
Just let you know, John, I'm a
Not
parrot head.
impactful. Not impactful.
I think a dead head and a parrot head complement each other well.
Similar.
Yeah, definitely.
This is how we get to know each other. Sorry, I'm a parrot head.
No idea.
I know. I got a parrot tattoo on my back. He's holding a margarita and wearing
No, you
sunglasses.
Did
Yes,
you
I
see
do.
the musical?
What
There's
now?
a musical. There's a musical?
The Margarita. There's a Margaritaville musical,
Oh,
right?
that's
There's
upsetting.
Came out like a year or two
Have
ago.
you been to Key West?
I've been to Key West.
Okay, good. That's okay. I just want to making sure.
I was at Captain Tony's when I was like 13.
Really?
Yeah.
That's awesome. Me too.
There's a lot of bras on that wall.
Oh, yes.
Oh, there is a musical.
Coffee has
Saved
arrived.
by
Yeah.
the coffee.
Oh, here it is. So we just roasted this like 2 days ago,
Oh wow.
and it's it's a Colombian coffee, aged in. I'll take this.
It's from the musical.
That's beautiful.
It's questionable.
Questionable at best. Someone asked me once how I felt about Jimmy Buffett, and I was like, he's a dirty old man.
Yeah. Yeah. Dirty old alcoholic.
He's just a dirty old man.
It's fair.
Just can't help it that I was raised on Margaritaville.
Oh my god, I can smell it from here.
It smells really nice.
I can't wait. Thank you. Oh my God, that smells incredible.
I almost don't want to drink it.
Mm.
Just because of how good it smells.
So
I
it's
definitely
really
wanna drink
weird.
it.
Like the gin barrel, like definitely, like you definitely get ginny notes off of it, straight up front.
Yeah.
Ginny notes.
And I
Ginny
don't know if
notes.
you've. I mean, there are gins. Do you drink gin?
Tanqueray.
It's terrible.
Sorry, I am not a liquor
I
drinker.
mean, honestly, like with the gins that they're making there, they're killing it.
Yeah.
I mean, and there's a lot of great gins in the area, like no doubt. But
Where is the barrel from?
Brandywine Branch.
Brandywine.
I dig it.
It's crazy.
It's
Wow.
real good.
So many layers of
It's
flavors.
real good.
I want this to come home with me.
It's real good.
Well, it can. We have bags available for sale down at the bottom. So this is like 4 months. So but what I usually do is I fill up a barrel, and I'll do 2 months, 4 months, 6 months, and I just release every.
Oh, that's cool. So it's like a series, and like it'll change over time.
Yes, absolutely.
Nice.
And this is 4 months old right now. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, right? I mean, it definitely makes its way through the coffee.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. There's the gin's up front, the coffee is there to hold it up, and then there's like a subtle gin flavor in the end.
And there's like a silkiness to it.
Yeah.
It's really nice.
Oh, this is great.
No alcohol there.
Yeah.
It's the illusion.
It is the illusion. It's great.
I'm okay with that.
This is the perfect beer for the coronavirus. Or sorry, the coffee. It's the perfect coffee for the
And
coronavirus.
beer. We have the
And
perfect beer as
sure.
well.
Yes. So like you're gonna have a lot of days at home.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Start your day with this,
Yeah.
end your day with Uncle John's.
That's right. I mean, you're gonna want alcohol. You're gonna want coffee. You're gonna want beer. We're trying to fill all those needs here.
I want alcohol. I want coffee. I want beer.
Wow.
Boo.
Don't boo him.
Oh, she
He
just
controls
stood up
what you say on this.
No, he
for
does.
you. No, he does.
All right, well then insult him.
Tear into him mercilessly.
Continue doing that.
This is amazing.
Yeah.
Actually, this is the first time I've actually tasted this. It's awesome. I almost want to not sell it.
But you're a business owner and you want to make money.
Yeah, kind of.
Especially in these uncertain
It is very
times.
delicious.
It is. This is incredible. I would not have ever thought coffee could taste like this.
I think we said that last time we were here.
Yeah.
Probably, but it continues to be true. So if people out there want to learn more about Stolen Sun, besides listening to your multiple appearances on Beer Busters, where
That's
can they
right.
find you online?
What do you mean?
They're stolensun.com.
Yeah.
They
there
are
you go.
Stolen Sun on Facebook and Stolen Sun Brew on Instagram.
Have you heard of the internet?
Yeah.
They
I
have
hope
the
I don't
internet on
need to give
computers
out
now?
my personal email.
Yeah.
I mean, you
This
could.
is my
I mean,
phone number.
What's your phone number?
Yeah.
Where do you live?
My social security number is.
Is your email therealjz
Yes,
at netscape.com?
Wow, that is the best email address I've
It
ever
is
heard
now.
in my life.
It is now.
Please make it stop.
Real JC.
Wow.
Did you say Netscape?
Yeah. Yeah. I went there.
Old
That's
school.
aggressive.
I went there.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Was there ever a Netscape? I mean, I assume they had a website.
Yeah.
They would have, yeah.
Yeah.
Is it weird when someone still has an AOL address?
Very
Yes.
much so.
Yes.
Yes.
It's super
Yes.
weird.
There are still
like,
people that
how
pay
does that
AOL for
exist?
dial-up internet.
How does it exist?
Yeah. Yeah,
Well-
AOL makes like $4 million a year off of that.
Just off of dial-up
Yeah.
internet? Oh.
But also, like, think of people who live like in the middle of fucking nowhere, like Alaska, where that's probably their only
Alabama.
option.
They
And
chose to
boomers.
live there where they know they can't get internet.
I know, but they still probably have need to get on the internet every once in a while, and that's probably the only option they have.
AOL? I don't think AOL exists.
Dial up. No, they still do. AOL
It
Time
doesn't.
Warner. Are they still AOL Time Warner?
Either they bought Yahoo or Yahoo bought them.
I imagine
Two
they bought
failing
Yahoo.
brands, one bought the other. I don't know.
Untapped.
But still very
Beer
weird.
Advocate.
Yeah. Oh, very much so.
weird. It's
Yeah.
like whenever you ask for an email and someone's like at AOL, you're like, you don't
I start to look at people weird that have a Hotmail address.
yeah, you don't really want to say anything because
There's a person at this table who doesn't have a microphone that does have an AOL
oh no,
email address.
is it really?
Confirmed.
Oh.
Confirmed.
Actively?
Sorry.
Confirmed. Here's the thing, though. When was the when did you last change your primary personal email address?
I just created another one and
Never.
ignored.
Sometimes you can't
Once.
get the email you want. Oh no, sorry. I
But,
really
like,
didn't
it's such
mean
a
it.
pain in the
It was all
ass.
shtick. It was a shtick. It was total shtick.
I didn't mean any of it.
It was I'm.
When you sign
Now I
on
feel
to AOL
terrible.
with your free trial disc that has X amount of minutes,
StolenSun.geocities.
go to keyword stolen
When
sun.
Gmail,
Right.
when Google collapses, who's the one that's going to be laughing? Because all of our fucking email addresses are all
if
attached
Google,
to Google.
if Google collapses,
the world will legitimately
literally
end.
nothing else will matter.
Yeah.
I mean, they literally prop up just about
Every
everything.
one of my, I have like 7 email addresses, and they are all.
Well, it
attached
goes
to Google.
beyond that. Their web services, they host God knows how many websites.
Yeah.
If Google goes
Their
down,
data
the
centers?
Earth goes down.
Is
They
ours
probably-
connected? Is our website connected?
Yeah. Well, no, not our website, but our email
But
addresses
all of our
are.
email addresses
Yeah.
are.
And our Google Drive.
All our notes.
Yeah. All our notes.
that some of us may or may not read.
I know.
Our website's
I already
on
know you don't read my notes.
Bluehost.
Oh, we're getting down and dirty, giving all the secrets of Beer
although
Busters.
Oh, God,
I
here-
actually
here we
would
go.
not be surprised if Bluehost actually just rents server space in Google Data.
Well, I assume it had
centers.
to be connected somehow
Or
because
Amazon.
I was
our,
going to say either
This
Google
is
or
taking
Amazon,
a
yeah.
terrible turn.
Yeah, it has.
Terrible turn. Terrible turn. End of the world as we know it.
Yep. Well, when you're out there
Talking about
searching for
Tech
Stolen
Busters.
Sun on that new thing called the internet, don't forget to also look for Beer Busters on the Twitter and Instagram at Beer Busters. Facebook, we are Beer Busters Podcast. You can also go to beerbusterspodcast.com.
Hosted by Bluehost.
Hosted by Bluehost.
Registered by GoDaddy.
hashtag not a sponsor.
God damn.
Beerbusters at AOL.com. You can contact
I wonder
us
if that
at.
exists.
It probably
Let's try to
does.
email it.
It probably
Like
does.
when we tried to call 7-Eleven.
Oh, God. There's also patreon.com/beerbusters where you can get in on all the action for as little as $1 a month. You get the special feed. You get invitations to basement recordings, the punishment videos, last call. There's a whole lot there. It's worth your at least $1 a month.
It's
Hey,
not
Dan,
even
do
a
we have
cup
a
of
phone
coffee
number?
a month.
It's what?
It's not even a cup of
It's
coffee a
not
month.
even
Sure.
a cup of
It's not
coffee
even.
a
That's
month.
Do we have a phone number? 809
805.
Wait, no. I was gonna see if I can remember it.
8.
8. I don't
Oh.
even. No,
You were close.
1-800
I don't
Beer
remember now.
Busters.
805
We tried
991
calling
beer.
that before.
it's not 1-800 beer.
It's 805-991 beer.
805 991 2337.
Yep. That. Yeah.
I
Well,
still don't
Do
know.
people actually call you?
They used
James
to.
does
really.
a lot.
Well, not anymore.
Not as much.
I don't think anybody really knows that we still
Who
have
actually answers when I call that
No
number?
one.
It's
it goes
a
right to
voicemail.
voicemail.
You know what?
Okay, all right.
You can text it or
it's
leave
Google.
us a message.
That's true.
Google.
It's through Google Voice.
It's a Google Voice phone number.
That's absolutely true. And it's tied to
Is
my
Google
Beer Busters
Skynet?
Gmail.
Probably.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, without a doubt. It starts with
Absolutely.
them. Yeah, Apple makes the hardware, and then Google makes everything else that takes over the world.
Okay.
Yep. Well, unfortunately, that apocalyptic note brings us to the end
Of the world.
of the world, brought to you by Corona.
What if this is the actual last time that
It
we
could be
ever-
the last episode of
Oh,
Beer
it
Busters
could be.
ever. Because our next 3 are all supposed to be events. One of them's already been canceled.
Canceled. Which one? The pretzel thing in Reading? Canceled.
There's so many that are
Sorry.
No,
canceled.
it was Prototype
Yes.
in Harrisburg was canceled. We're doing Little Big Beer Fest the day of that, though.
That'll be fun, though.
Hopefully it won't be canceled.
Well, I am Dan Baker. I am joined by my co-host and virologist,
Steph F.
and of course, the demented and fermented.
Brains.
Yes, check out Stolen Sun. Make sure you come here and get a beer and coffee. No squids or birds were harmed in this episode.
Oh, thank you.
But what is in fondant?
Fond and ants.